total joint surgeons in the state with Lowry Barnes, Jeff Stambo, and Ben Stronach. Why would you consider going anywhere else? Folks come to UAMS Health from around the country to have their joints replaced. You should too. Call 501-686-TOSH to schedule your appointment today. That's 501-686-8674. The doctor will see you now.
Hey, Raj, have you checked out Scoops in Little Rock?
The new homemade ice cream spot with the drive-thru? Yep, it's amazing.
Right. They've got coffee, cookies, pastries, and breakfast sandwiches, all local brands.
We know about Scoops' one-of-a-kind ice cream, but the Blackberry Market scones, the Killer Croissantery breakfast sandwiches, and you know from me, the Lava's coffee. And they're open 365 days a year, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., which is perfect morning coffee for me and a late-night ice cream run for you.
Gotta love it. I'm going to be there every day, Raj. Scoops at the corner of Broadway and 3rd in downtown Little Rock. Come taste the best.
You know CertaPro Painters is your go-to choice for residential and commercial painting, but they also offer high-quality concrete coatings for your garage, patio, or commercial space, and they're looking to add to their rapidly growing team of installers. Whether you're an experienced installer or looking to start a new career, they provide comprehensive training and competitive pay. For an opportunity to join a team focused on creating lifetime opportunities for great people, call CertaPro today at 501-223-8988.
Hey Arkansas, Montana with Hubbard Power Sports in Russellville. We're your Arkansas Can-Am and Sea-Doo dealer. Are you looking for your next adventure? On the road, on the water, or in the trails? We've got the ride for you. At Hubbard Power Sports, Can-Am and Sea-Doo of Russellville, we are proud to say we offer the best customer service around. We've won multiple awards for our level of excellence in many different categories, but our customer service is the one we're the most proud of. Come and see us Monday through Saturday or give us a call. See our current inventory, apply for financing, and value your trade at our website, hubbardpowersports.com.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
See Shelter Agent Paul Griffin in Monticello, Sam Eklund in Star City, or Kyle Stone in Pine Bluff.
Join the Zone each weekday for the Entertainment Report, brought to you by Bell & Sword of Conway. Find out the very latest breaking news and entertainment each day on the Zone. Justin, DJ, and I will dish out what the stars and celebrities have going on, and you can catch it each day. Bell & Sword has everything for the best dressed man, from boots to suits. Check them out on Facebook or Instagram. Bell & Sword at their new and larger location at 1011 Oak Street.
Live from the Eat My Catfish studios, it's time for Arkansas's #1 caller-driven sports show. It's Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network with your hosts, Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaefer. Lock it in and get ready to dial us up. Drive Time Sports is on the air.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaefer standing by in Northwest Arkansas. I'm Randy Rainwater from the capital city. Good afternoon, Mr. Rick Schaefer.
Well, good afternoon, Randy Rainwater. I guess the scrimmage was done. Sam Pittman talked about all the good things that happened, which they couldn't watch, of course. But that's okay. The good news is nobody got hurt. The bad news is 15 guys missed the scrimmage because they're hurt. But evidently nobody too seriously, so that's good to know. We're 3 weeks away, 3 weeks from today. Is it getting closer? 3 weeks from tonight, Arkansas plays football.
I mean, you almost sounded negative Nancy there for a moment, you know?
No, because some guys missed the scrimmage. It was 3 weeks away. They've got plenty of time to heal. Several of them are veterans that you figure are going to be okay. They know the plays. But, but still you kind of hate that they're beat up to the point where they can't even scrimmage 3 weeks away from the game. But hopefully next week they scrimmage again, and hopefully everybody will be okay. Hope so.
Did you notice one thing? I guess this was given to the entire media. I can't believe it was just given to hogsports.com. But they listed the players and their injuries, which I'm assuming I have no clue about HIPAA. Zero clue what you can or you cannot say about an injury. But I will say this much: if they're that minor, then you can comment on it only because the fact that they had to get the Hog Sports had to get that information from somebody.
Yeah, well,
and it had to be from somebody inside the program. So obviously they felt good enough to release that information.
I think Sam Pittman even mentioned several of them. So I think, I don't know. That's the way it always used to be before they started talking about HIPAA laws and all that. After practice, Dean Weber would just go through it with you.
Right.
This guy's got this guy's got that. This is how long you'll be out. This serious, not serious. And Dean was as popular as the head coach when the Razorbacks were beat up a little bit. So anyway, I have no idea what's changed. Maybe with the NIL, players are signing agreements that information about them is okay to relay to the media. I don't know.
Well, you also heard. I apologize for interrupting.
No,
but I need to make this point, but only because the fact that towards the end of his press conference, I don't know what I didn't catch the question. I just caught his response, and that was about injury reports. And it was interesting because he said, I am all for it. And basically what he's saying, if I have to set aside a guy for discipline, I want to say he's out. And basically want you to know why. He's out because of disciplinary reasons. Or if he's hurt. What about our second string quarterback? What if he's hurt? I thought it was interesting. Did you catch that particular part?
No, I didn't. But here's the thing: it's not going to be what the injury is. If it's like the NFL, it'll be out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Possible.
Yeah. Yes.
Probable.
Yes.
Game time decision. That's what it's not going to be. Left ankle, right shoulder.
No. I understand that. But
where they did address things specifically today, which was very interesting that they did that. And here's the thing: I guess I didn't realize the Big Ten's already doing that. I don't know if they did it last year, but they've already voted. They're going to do injury reports. So the SEC would not be the first school conference to do it. They would be the second one. And if both of them do it, then you've got to believe that everybody's going to do it.
Yeah, but I just thought it was interesting because, we brought that up the other day on the program. And then it kind of went quiet for several days, and you really thought, okay, that's pretty big news.
Well, I think the athletic directors meet next week somewhere. I didn't know they had meetings this close to the season, but they do, and supposedly that's when they're going to vote it into a rule.
All right, for what it's worth, list of non-participants: Jaquindon Jackson, ankle sprain. There was swelling apparently in the knee of Rashad DeBinion. Andrew Armstrong, he's dealing with an hamstring injury. This one concerns me, even though they're saying it's minor at this point. It used to be, Rick, if you got the old turf toe injury, you could be out for a while.
Yeah.
Tyrone Broden, turf toe. I'll have to get my pronunciation guide on Caffrey Brown. I'm not sure if that's exactly how you say his name, so let's pull Chaffrey Brown. He's got a knee issue. Luke has. This is concerning. Concussion. Now, I've had back issues, and sometimes you can only correct it by way of surgery. I hope that's not the case with Patrick Kutas, but he has been out for a while now. Luke Brown, offensive tackle, knee. Here is where the other part, I mentioned one concussion already with Luke Has. Anton Junkaj, he is out with a concussion. John Hill is out with a concussion. Marquise Robinson is out with a concussion. I know they're wearing, I don't know what they call those, spider helmets, whatever the definition term is. It's the little shell that goes over the hard shell. Yeah. It's a foam or I'm not sure exactly what it is, but anyway, Apparently, it's not.
I thought that's what we were talking about the other day. Guardian caps.
Yeah, guardian caps is another word for it. But apparently, again, you can be knocked to the ground. Your head hits the ground. It doesn't matter if you got that or not. I mean, it can still ring your bell, as we used to call it. Jaheim Singletary, hamstring. Marquise Robinson, concussion. Dylan Haas. I wonder if they're working out together as injured brothers. Back. And then Vito Cavaruso, he has got a groin injury. That is not good for a kicker.
No.
If you've got a groin injury. But nevertheless, that's a pretty significant number.
Yeah, it's 15 guys.
Yeah, and considering some of the names that we've talked about, from Patrick Kudus to June Kosh to Singletary to Broden, Armstrong, that's a Jaquindon Jackson. That's another starter that right now is on the sideline. So hopefully they'll get that corrected I say corrected, but some of these players will start returning quickly to the sidelines or to the playing field.
And the thing about it is, unless it's really serious, the concussion ones are basically precautionary. See, I don't worry too much about those.
Do you not? I do.
No, you figure a week at most, they'll be back out there. But you do worry about hamstrings for receivers and ankles for running backs. You definitely hope those heal quickly.
I just know what one concussion can lead to another. Once you've had the first one, often or not, it can lead to a second one. I don't know what's happened to my birthday music. Why, you ask?
I don't know. Is it not your birthday? It's not mine.
Oh,
is it?
But
it
is. I hope he is still listening. I'm hoping he recognizes what a great person that he is and friend. I have known this guy now for, 20 years now.
Yeah.
And he is one of the best. I love when I send things like this to my friends. I always like to say, you are the best. He is the best. We're talking about Freaky Joe Franklin.
Oh, is that right? Today's his birthday?
Today is his birthday, so.
I'll bet he doesn't look a day older.
No. Well, hold on. There's a little bit of that white flecks that shows up in his beard, and a little bit of white flecks that shows up in his hair. That's just showing maturity, right?
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
Well, to show what a great guy that our friend Joe Franklin is, if you look on SEC spring meetings, you'll find the latest from Sam Pittman in Sound Bites.
Oh.
He told me about that on the way out a little bit ago. So those are ready for you when you are.
All right. So I got to go to a different page is what you're telling me.
Very good.
SEC Spring Meeting 2024.
Okay.
Spring meeting.
Yeah, right there.
Well,
why don't we just get a quick recap?
Is that today or is that spring meetings?
This is today.
Okay, you just labeled it spring.
Well, we don't worry about the labeling, as long as they
Happy birthday, freak.
That's right, Joe. You're the best. We love you, brother. All right, this is Sam Pittman. We'll let Sam do a scrimmage recap. This is coming from the proverbial horse's mouth.
Scrimmage format is just like it always is, which you guys, I don't know if you've ever been to one. I think you have, but so we had 6 kickoffs, 1s, 2s, and 3s, 2s apiece. We had 7 punts. The 1s went 3, 2, and 1. 1s, 2s, and 3s that way. We had 9 field goals, 5 and 4, 1 and 2. We start the scrimmage 1-0 versus 2D, then the 1D versus 2-0, then the 3s and 3s. The next series is 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3. Then we had a 3rd down, 8-rep 3rd down situational scrimmage where it's good on good. ones and twos. Then we went to red area, and that's good on good, ones, twos, and threes. And then we went to low red, good on good, ones, twos, and threes. And then we had a 2-minute situation, 42 seconds, one timeout, minus 44. And that was with the ones and twos. The ones did not convert that. The twos did. I think Kyle just told you about Shipley's 51-yard field goal there to win the game at the end for the offense.
Well, I wasn't quite the recap I was expecting, but it
told us the format. How about that? We know what they did, and we know that the kicker made the 51-yarder to end the scrimmage.
Matthew Shipley.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
All right,
let's from Hawaii.
All right, Sam's going to talk about injuries. Let's see if he has something there.
Pat Kuda's got a back, so we're resting it. We've rested it for a few days. We feel like we'll get him back. I'm not positive. It may be another week. It may be another week and a half, but we feel good that we're going to get him back. Joffrey Brown, we held him today. That was us. He's had some knee surgeries and things, and we've been holding him some in practice as well. So that was a neat deal. Luke Brown is going to have a trim on his cartilage that he had worked on before. So that was 2 days ago. John Hill, Luke has, Anton Junekaj, and Marquise Robinson are out with concussions, and they've all been out different times. So depending on when they get back, I think Anton was the first one, so I anticipate him being back this coming week. Marquise would be the next one, and then Luke's was just recent, and John Hill's was just recent. Rashad Dubinion didn't play today because of a knee swelling on his knee. Jaquinta Jackson has his mild ankle sprain. Tyrone Broden, we didn't play him today from turf toe. I imagine some of these guys will be back tomorrow, but we just held them today. Dylan has a back. He'll probably be back tomorrow as well. Jaheim Singletary's got a hamstring, and Vito's got a pull growing muscle. Obviously, we know he's a kicker, so we held him. I don't have any. The longest one that I think is going to be out is Luke Brown, because he's going to have to be out for a couple of weeks. But the rest of these guys will be back. I think if we forced half of that group to play today, I think they could have. Did I miss Armstrong?
Yeah.
Armstrong's got a slight hamstring too. I think they could have played if we pushed them. When I was in high school, I had a hamstring and I had a groin, and I don't know if I'd have got out of the way of that damn guy hit me in front of my knee or not. But we didn't play anybody today. We're trying to get better today, and we felt like as a staff that it'd be better to hold these kids, get them back healthy, and then because we still have another scrimmage and some other live reps going on.
Well, did that make you feel better?
Well, yeah, he just went over the same guys who got hurt.
Well, he did at least elaborate.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know if he's using the weed eater or whatever it is. He said they need to trim some cartilage off of Luke Brown. I didn't know. He didn't go into how they were going to trim it up, but okay, that wasn't even funny.
I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm guessing they didn't use a weed eater.
That was bad. That was bad.
Yeah, maybe it's before the Independence Bowl. They might have.
All right, let's talk with Rick. Rick, good afternoon. Welcome to Drive Time Sports.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because I was trying to get on with Joe and wish him a happy birthday, but I missed that one. And all these little concussions and stuff. Now, come on now. They wear these protective helmets and stuff. This is all propaganda.
Whoa, Rick! No. In today's athletics, you do not fool around with potential concussions. This is not 1980. This is not 1980. If a guy says he's got a concussion, they do not fool around with it.
Really hard.
Do what?
1980s. That's when it was really hard.
That's right, in 1992. But they are much tighter about that, and we might save a lot of people's brains.
If they show any symptoms at all of a concussion, they yank them.
I never missed, and anybody, even in college, when I played at UCA, they never missed a game.
Right.
Now, if you had broken bones and collarbones.
Okay, Rick, what year are you talking about?
Rick,
what year are you talking about? So his administrator. You're talking maybe the 70s or 80s. Okay, so if you were an administrator today, given the rules of today, you just say, to heck with it, send him out there.
Oh, you'd be in big trouble.
No, I was.
What now? What would you do?
I've been an AD.
So what would you do? You just say, tape it up, send him out there?
Well, that's what
you wouldn't go by the rules?
Well, I mean, it's the.
What if he had? What if it caused a permanent injury? You just say, "Oh well, to heck with it. That's just part of the game."
Rick, hey, never mind. Why don't you start over? Let's start over.
I'm saying just a little bit for the SEC and all them other people. They blow it a little bit out of proportion, and then all of a sudden they gonna be ready. And they going to play hard when the games get started.
They'll play
all right,
hard.
Rick. Thank you, buddy.
It doesn't have anything to do with the injury reports.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, I played at a time where your face mask was a launching board for a coach.
That's right. And
I played when you were lucky if you even got a salt tablet. I could go on and
water.
on.
Yeah.
Good gosh!
Yeah,
that's not the way That's not the way it's played today.
Yeah.
If you play that way today, you're going to be sued first.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with physical toughness. How many guys that played in that area, 50s, 60s, and 70s in the NFL,
can hardly walk?
It's not even walking; it's the brain. Let's say all these guys that all of a sudden they can't think cognitively and all those kind of things when they hit their 50s and 60s because of the concussions that nobody ever paid attention to. And that's why they do. Are they over precautious? Maybe so, but that's better than these guys being bumbly when they're 55 years old because they can't talk anymore.
Okay. Let's talk with Terry. Terry,
Rick got to you. I was making points, but he really got to you, didn't he?
That aggravates me. I mean, I played before. I know what it's like.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I may have had a concussion. I mean, I lost. No, let me rephrase that. Didn't lose. Reed had to quit playing football because of long-term possible effects because he had 2 concussions within 30 days. 2 concussions within 30 days. Upon medical advice, he gave up football. That was painful.
Yeah.
That hurt.
Yeah.
But that was a decision that was made in the best interest of Reed. Exactly.
That's right.
Terry, good afternoon. I'm very calm now.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I wanted to hear Rick's opinion on Grayson Rodriguez being on the injured list. Is he going to make it back before the season's over?
I hope so, Terry. He's having a great year. 13-4. He was actually warming up. I believe it was Tuesday night. Today's Thursday. Yeah, Tuesday night he was supposed to pitch against Toronto. He was 10 minutes from appearing. It's a shoulder irritation, so they're saying rest should help it. Once you get into surgery in the shoulders, you got a mess. But I hope he'll be back before the year's over. They've got enough pitching depth right now. They traded for 2 starting pitchers before the trade deadline. But wow, is he having a good year? 13-4. That's a guy they need to get back hopefully soon. He's on the 10-day injured list.
Yeah. Well, I've become an Orioles fan just to follow Grayson. So
I know that. Good for you.
I wanted your opinion on it.
Thank you, Terry.
Thanks, Terry.
We forgive you.
Thanks.
No.
Mark your calendars for the Oaklawn Sports Tailgate Party, August 29th. More information is coming soon from your fun and game station, 103.7 The Buzz.
Hey, this is Mitch with Red River Auto. You know, we're pushing 20 years of being in business, starting at Heber Springs and Red River. And now we've got a Ford store in Cabot and a Ford and Toyota store in Wynn, along with our pre-owned store right there in Jacksonville. Folks, you know us for our huge discounts. Like right now, we have rebates up to $15,000 off Ram trucks. But we've also got the Ford, and what a lot of people don't know is we have the Toyota Tundra too. Folks, if you want a great deal on a vehicle, check us out at redriverauto.com.
Now you can watch all your favorite Buzz shows streaming live on our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter pages. 103.7 The Buzz, your multimedia fun and game station.
At the heart of historic downtown Russellville, the Old Bank offers an upscale dining experience. With the freshest ingredients and creative touches, their menu has an item for everyone. From their signature lump crab cake to a classic blue cheese poutine, BLT wedge salad to hand-cut prime steaks. They aim to cater everyone. And that's not all. Upstairs at the Old Bank, you can enjoy live entertainment Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday with trivia, comedy shows, karaoke, live music, and more. Old Bank in downtown Russellville.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. Cambridge University archaeologists recently published findings of a 3,000-year-old Bronze Age village in England, nearly perfectly preserved after a catastrophic fire. Researchers reported a rich domestic life in this community that lived in harmony with their neighbors, enjoying warm, dry houses with excellent food, and wearing clothes of fine flax linen. These folks in 850 BC had a lot going for them, but unfortunately, they didn't have access to Doublebees. We are lucky to live in a state with 34 Doublebees locations where eating and drinking and fueling up is a breeze. Stop by today for a snacky treat or a refreshing beverage. There are some decided advantages to living in 2024 instead of 850 BC, and one of them is Doublebees, where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebees.
If you already scheduled your garage door tune-up for just $79, please disregard this message. If you don't have a garage door, you're off the hook. For the rest of you, why would you spend more than just $79? Overhead Door Company of Little Rock will perform their garage door tune-up and safety inspection for just $79 on up to 3 garage doors and openers. Call 501-510-6399 or schedule online, overheaddooroflittlerock.com.
It's not hard to be a mom. It's hard to be a good mom. It's easy to be a bad mom. That's so easy. But to be a good mom is hard. To be a bad mom, that's as easy as being a great dad. That's...
Nikki Glazer, Alive and Unwell Tour. November 3rd at Oaklawn Event Center in Hot Springs. Tickets on sale now at oaklawn.com. Don't miss Nikki Glazer. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Now, back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios. Eat fresh, eat local, eat my catfish. The #1 sports radio show in Arkansas. Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaefer. I'm Randy Rainwater, now joined by Neil Atkinson by way of Bet Saracen. Neil, we may have thought last Thursday signaled the beginning of the NFL preseason schedule, but it is a full slate this week, and everybody jumps in. Everybody's ready to go and have a party, so to speak. Tonight, we have Detroit, the Lions taking on the New York Giants. Then you have the Carolina Panthers taking on the New England Patriots. And if I'm reading this correctly, the Atlanta Falcons and the Miami Dolphins. And then it just goes on from there throughout the entire weekend. So if you wanted football, folks, here it is. It's back. It may not be regular season football, but it's back.
Yes, it is back, and I'm excited because the more content and the more you can bet on, the better it is for me, the bookmaker. But, yeah, preseason, you got games all starting tonight all the way through Sunday. I think the last game are the Cowboys on Sunday afternoon. But, yeah, and you got to remember preseason, these are exhibition games. Coaches have different agendas and different things that they're doing. So you do not have all of the traditional prop bets or the flash betting, but we did put up some extra NFL preseason specials that we'll do each day to make some of these exhibition games a little bit more interesting and a little bit more fun, such as like if you want to do a parlay like the Lions and Patriots to both win tonight at plus 250, all the way up to a more of a long shot that all four teams to score points in the first quarter tonight on both of those games is plus 850. So you got a nice little range of little bets. Go and check those out under the specials. You got the Olympics, got medal rounds this weekend on a lot of the team sports. Team USA skated by today. That's another time they didn't cover. But then, yeah, that one, they were down 17 points at one time. So you've got that. But if you look at Team USA, soccer medal round, USA versus Brazil, women, USA are plus 100, so they are a favorite. Do not forget that the draw in regular time is a bet when you bet soccer, so don't forget that either.
Speaking of the Cowboys, they do take on the Rams, and that is the last game on Sunday, which I'm guessing this is Central Time, 3:30 is what it's showing here on the app. So, yeah, you got tons. And, I mean, it's like a regular season, except they're spread out beginning today, going all the way through Sunday. But you have a pretty full NFL preseason schedule that you can look at. You've even got some CFL action. That's football as well, folks, Canadian Football League. And then you've got even some MLB specials. You sure want to take a look at those. And the Olympics are winding down. We keep talking about the Olympics are winding down, so you better get your quick bets in there before that time runs out. All right, Neil, where can we find all this good stuff?
Hey, go to BetSaracen.com, or better yet, from your phone, just go to the App Store, type in BetSaracen, and download the app. You can see all of these specials that we talked about today, plus many, many more. With college football and the NFL coming, I mean, it's a laundry list, as long as you can see, of different betting options on the season. And hit that registration button if you haven't already done so, and you can be betting your favorite team, player, or sport, and on Team USA this weekend in as little as 5 minutes.
All right, Neil. Thank you, Neil Atkinson. By way of BetSaracen.com, or go to the App Store and pick up the app at Bet Saracen. This is from our True Service Community Federal Credit Union Life in Feedback. I must admit, Rick, at times, Marianne, I question her. Well, I don't know what I question with her, but it says subject too sensitive. So when you guys
too sensitive
have someone who disagrees with you,
yeah,
you tell them to start over and try again. Would you at least write this, Marianne? Hopefully you're listening, so we can relay this so we don't sound dumb when we try to relay what you're saying. Guy was giving his opinion. Guy was giving his opinion. And his opinion didn't hurt anything. Y'all are too darn sensitive.
No, we're not. This has nothing to do with sensitivity, Marianne. This has to do with the guy thinking concussions aren't that serious. Do you think that's an opinion that is valid in today's college athletics? He wasn't talking about whether he likes the Texas Longhorns or the Tennessee Volunteers over the Razorbacks. He wasn't talking about whether the offensive line was going to be any good. He wasn't talking about whether Arkansas could beat Oklahoma State. He was talking about guys maybe who should be practicing but aren't because they list them with concussions. So, Marianne, you can take shots at us all you want. But yes, we did stop that idiotic discussion because if a guy is in concussion protocol, by all the rules, he can't practice until he's cleared. I know that's hard for you to grasp.
Well,
and
it's
so
hard.
Therefore,
it must be.
And I did. What I tried to do was say, let's get, if he wanted to make some real points, I was trying to say, okay, let's get away from that, and what are your other points? But he wouldn't leave that. And tomorrow when he calls, we'll welcome his call again.
Well, Myron went on to say, by way of our True Service Community Federal Credit Union, Rick's phone call. I don't think Rick wore a helmet when he played.
Oh, God. Don't
Jeez, what a call. Okay.
Okay.
No, I'm just giving you other.
We don't want to get on him either.
I guess, Marianne, that means Myron's too sensitive.
I guess so, too.
Well, then, Marianne, she had to weigh in on you on this one.
Of course. It's
Rick
okay.
finally said it. It's not 1980. It's not also 1950 or 60. So keep that in mind when you start going back to 1951 season and compare it to today in any way.
1951. Pat Summerall kicks a field goal.
Well,
beats
1951,
Texas.
I was born, so thank you, Marianne.
Yeah, that was Summerall's field goal beat Texas. First time Arkansas ever beat Texas in Fayetteville. I'm glad you brought that one up, Marianne. That was good.
Ryan says HIPAA laws do not apply to football coaches. When did that start? I don't know where that idea
sure
ever
used
came from.
Yeah, they've been using it. We are confused on that. First time I see Kyle, and it might be the first game, I don't know. I'm going to ask him about that, because for years we have been told they can't say anything specific about injuries. This is the first time we've seen this in quite some time.
Yeah, no, I'm
specific injuries. They might say he's out because of an ankle or because of a back or something, but never back strain, sprained ankle, mild ankle sprain, slight hamstring pull. You might hear hamstring, but you're not going to hear a degree of it. So,
and you've had to pull it out, that word concussion.
Yeah, and I do think when Trey Biddy's on, we'll ask him about it. If he knows, he may have better insight on that than we do on if something has changed.
Okay, let's see. This was written by Connor Goodson. He's the one that posted that. Let's see, wrapped up. Revealed that 14 players, quick to point out, are expected to be long-term issues. Well, Coach Pittman, when he was talking about Kudus, well, we held him out, and we've held him out for about a week now. I think we'll hold him out for about another week. Well, maybe another week and a half. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, Coach, you're going to be talking about September 29th before you know it. But anyway. Then that he repeated that comment where he said, I think if we're forced, half of that group could play today. We're trying to get better today, hold these kids out, let them get back healthy. We still have another screen, blah, 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 blah. But it doesn't say in here why all of a sudden, we're getting somewhat specific on these injuries. So, let's see. This from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line. This from LC in Sherwood. He says, about your concussion comment, I think Traylon Burks might fall into that category. I don't know if that's because of repeat or not. I don't know. This also from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line. This from the 501. Pittman's interview today, he was not worried about any of the injuries. This from the 501, you guys should really stop letting. Okay, never mind. Heart surgery. It was bad back in the 70s. Doesn't mean you forego modern medicine, from the 501.
Good point. There are a lot of things in the 60s and 70s you didn't know how to treat or didn't do a good job of it. Now they're much advanced over, so good point.
This is, again, taking a little bit of a poke at Rick, so we won't.
That's okay.
No, the other Rick. Randall says...
No, don't take... Yeah, don't take... We got enough pokes at him.
I think he's... Yeah. And, yes, we did end his call quickly. And I don't know if he's on those or not. That from Drew in Little Rock. I wish every show would quit taking his calls. Okay. These young men could be permanently injured. Let the coaches do their job. Remember the coach lined up the offensive line going down the line, slapping us all in the helmet. Well, your coaches were kind to you from the 479.
And slapping a guy on the helmet's probably not going to cause a concussion, but
no, he's just saying that was a part of the culture back then.
Right, that's right. Well,
I remember more getting down the 3-point stance and feeling the coach's shoe in my behind, not slap on the helmet.
Well, or players lining up helmet to helmet and hitting each other in practices, or
the nose guard.
Yeah, or before a game, I can remember guys just blasting each other shoulder pad to shoulder pad, like to get used to getting hit with pads, but I mean really hard shots to get ready for the game.
No, there's truth into that. You know, the poor old center. I mean, that's why even now in the National Football League, and I think the same thing. You know, it's a shame I don't know specifically. That you can't cover up the center now, even in college when it comes to the extra point or field goal. You can't have someone over his head because they used to just blast the poor old center.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, they would just tee off, and they could knock him all the way back to the holder. Then they got bonus points for that. But okay.
You get to read all of them. And some of them, it's probably good that you don't read.
No, I'm not going to read that one. I'm not going to give any unnecessary credit where it's not necessarily due. So
okay,
that makes sense. All right, Rick Schaefer. I'm Randy Rainwater. We will step aside for a moment. Drive Time Sports will continue in just one moment.
The Zone Hotline on 103.7 The Buzz is presented by Jim's Razorback Pizza with 2 locations, Highway 10 past Taylor Loop and just off the Morgan Mall Mill exit.
Max Prairie Wings is back with the biggest event of the season, the annual Fall Festival, August 8th through the 11th. Max is bringing back events like trap and exhibition shooting, calling contests, vendor booths, kids activities, food trucks, and an all-new beer garden. And for 4 days only, 10.5% off savings on top of sale pricing both in-store and online at maxpw.com. Guns, ammo, bows, waders, decoys, clothing, and more. The Max Prairie Wings Fall Festival, your one-stop shop for savings on all things outdoors.
Hey, Central Arkansas, have you visited the new Lumber One and Design One in West Little Rock? There's something for everyone. That's because our newest location is one place for windows and doors, appliances, kitchens, baths, lighting, and so much more. One place for inspiration, one place for free design services, and one place for all of your home and design needs. And still one place for lumber, paint, hardware, and outdoor. It's all at Lumber One and Design One in West Little Rock. Colonel Glenn at 430.
Hi, it's Frank Fletcher from the Fletcher Dodge store here in Sherwood. Folks, if you're shopping for a new car or truck, I hope you'll come see us and give us a chance to earn your business. We have huge discounts, 0% financing available, and we'll give you $1,000 over Kelly Blue Book value for your trade-in. Folks, I guarantee you a hassle-free buying experience. And if you've had credit problems in the past, listen to this. We have an easy pre-approval process. Just go to FletcherCredit.com to get started. You can be pre-approved in minutes. It's really not hard. FletcherCredit.com. Folks, we're also still buying cars every day. If you got an old car or truck you want to turn into cash, bring it to Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood and ask for Chris or Andy. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Shop in person or shop online at FletcherDeals.com. Thank you.
Grab your country gear and head to Southland Casino Hotel's Country Festival on Saturday, August 24th. Enjoy top country performers like Tyler Farr, Royal Lynn, Jay Jones, and Frankie Holly featuring Taylor McManus. Indulge in delicious food trucks and beat the heat in our air-conditioned tent. Gates open at noon. Visit 901tix.com to purchase tickets today. One stage, 4 incredible performers, one unforgettable night of music and fun. It's all happening at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Make this summer one to remember by stopping by Arch Marine in North Little Rock. Arch is all about creating fun on our lakes and rivers. You have to come by and see the new 2024 G3 Tri-Tunes, the hottest and coolest ride out there. We're easy to find. Take the Levy exit.
Wingstock returns to Simmons Bank Arena this Saturday. All-you-can-eat wings from 30 different area restaurants, and Morning Mayhem's Roger Scott will be reporting live from the arena floor. Wingstock Saturday. Tickets are available at the arena box office or online at Ticketmaster.com.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios, where it's much like any of the 7 Eat My Catfish locations, minus the always fresh, delicious food options like the family pack catfish dinners. You're in hog heaven. This is Drive Time Sports, a presentation of the Buzz Radio Network.
Probably sounds like you eat at Tacos for Life every day. I don't do that, but at least a couple times a week I try and go in, see what's new, see if there's something I'm going to like that I want to tell people about. And so today was one of those days. I was in Springdale at the Tacos for Life. I eat the one in Fayetteville, Springdale, occasionally the one in Rogers, and decided to get the chicken cheese quesadilla. And I hadn't had one in a while. Made me kind of forget how good they are. It was really, really good. Of course, with the chips, and this time I got queso because my wife likes the queso so much, and it was really good too. And of course, they also serve Coca-Cola, and I really love that. I can just tell you, anything that you order at Tacos for Life, you're going to love. And I love when they post those numbers, how many people that they're helping who are food insufficient. They help somebody because I ate there. Every time you eat a meal at Tacos for Life, you're going to help somebody that's food insufficient. The goal, 10 million meals this year in a 12-month period. They're getting close to 2 million. You can help them. Enjoy a great meal and help someone else at Tacos for Life.
And that is Rick Schaefer. I'm Randy Rainwater. This from our True Service Community Federal Credit Union Life and Feedback. Will says coaches have never been subject to HIPAA laws. It's just an excuse. And then Will came back and said, I didn't read it the way it was written, so thank you for, because he said hippo is easy to look, very easy to look up. And it says, he said HIPAA, not hippo.
HIPAA. Yeah, it's hippo. Right.
That one is hard to type without
you can look up hippos,
it.
too.
Yeah. So.
They're great. At the St. Louis Zoo's got a great hippo display. I don't know if you've ever been there, but you can look right into the water with them. They're pretty cool.
All right, this from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line from the 479. I hated the drill called Bloody Alley. We called it Blood, not Bloody, but I guess it could get bloody. But Blood Alley, different time, no water throughout the whole practice. Yeah, that's pretty common back then. If you did, you did. You had a dirty water hose that stayed in the mud more than it stayed out of the mud. This from the 870 by way of our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line. Most players that play at a high school level or higher sign HIPAA release forms. I didn't know that. High school did. This should not be a problem. These forms are signed so that trainers can share medical information with doctors and coaches. Once the trainer has shared the information with the coach, this would allow a coach to share this information to the media. Players usually have to sign these forms to play. If not, then a trainer tells the coach the injury would be considered a HIPAA violation.
Oh, how about that? Okay, well, we're learning here. And again, here's the only thing we can go by, and we appreciate all the information that we're getting because we don't know. It's been a long time since I worked in the athletic department, over 20 years now. But back then, again, Dean Weber was the trainer the whole time I was there. He could give you details of a guy's injury. I don't mean intimate details like it's the left, this, that, and that. But, hey, he's got a knee sprain. He could tell you how long he's probably going to be out. If somebody needed surgery, they'd let you know right away. The only time that you wouldn't would be, say, if it's on a Thursday before a Saturday game and a guy got hurt and maybe isn't going to play. They may not say anything then. But then after the game, they'd come back and say something about him. But in recent years, it's been our experience on this show, I can't speak for the others, that when injuries have been reported or even not reported, there's never been any specific about what it was. Again, we get Trey Biddy here in just a few minutes so we can ask him whether we're off base or not. And we were told it was because of HIPAA laws, which is a privacy matter between a patient and his medical provider. So, for those of you who are telling us that that's not the issue, then maybe we've been misled or maybe we were misinformed. But we're going to find out. We'll ask Trey what his understanding of it is and why suddenly we're hearing details about injuries that we have not heard in recent years.
Well, here's another from the 501 from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line. HIPAA only applies to medical professionals. Every time that I go in, whether it's a surgery or otherwise, I have to check off on that form that I'll allow my doctor to share my medical information, even with my wife. And I have to list who others that I want to share that with.
That's right. Same here. Yeah.
So HIPAA only applies to medical professionals.
But a trainer is a medical professional. An athletic trainer would be a medical professional, would he not? And he's not a doctor. He or she. He's not a doctor. But wouldn't you think it would apply to
I don't
trainer?
know. I mean, can a trainer, on the other hand, make detailed evaluations right there on the spot?
I'm guessing that what Sam Pittman today read came from his training staff. Now, they do have doctors that attend practice or come in after practice and look at guys. One of them is a good friend of mine. But anyway, I'm guessing a trainer. Dean Weber could tell you right away what was wrong with somebody. I don't know why an athletic trainer couldn't.
Yeah.
The guy's got an ankle sprain. Do you have to call in a specialist to figure that out? No.
Well, okay. If a knee's swelling up, I can tell that. But I can't tell you what caused it or what is the cause of it. Is it a cartilage? Did he tear something? Is it a ligament? Whatever it could be. Then he went on to say, or she went on to say from the 501, it's not if this or if that. I'm not sure what that means. Only applies to medical professionals. It's not if this or if that. So I'm not sure, again, exactly what that really pertains to. Well, I didn't really plan on this being a lightning rod. I thought it was just interesting that Sam Pittman was so specific today when Trey has come on here numerous times saying, I can't talk about it. In fact, I said something about, who was it the other day? Was it Blackstock?
Oh, yeah, somebody that
ran up in his back.
But the coach hadn't mentioned it yet, so Trey said he couldn't.
But then the next day, he was back out at practice, and he said, oh, who? Who are you talking about? I'm like, okay. I didn't imagine that. I read that. So this is Sam Pittman in favor of the injury report.
Some of it is, guys, you guys, if a kid's out, okay, and you just say he's out, for me, if I say he's out and that's it, then sometimes, then y'all get frustrated with it because you want to know why he's out. Sometimes I don't want to tell you why he's out, and you understand what I'm saying. Sometimes it's disciplinary reasons. Sometimes it's a death in the family. There's sometimes, you know what I mean? And sometimes he's injured. You know what I mean? So to me, I'm for it because out is just out, and then you go from there. So, and I think the NFL does it that way, and so I'm for it, and I think it will help, especially with quarterback situations. You can't say, well, I don't know. I mean, if he's out, he's out, and you've got to say it. So I'm all for it, and I'm all for it because there's sometimes even guys legality why we can't talk about why we're not playing a kid. And it just makes it, to me, a lot more cut and dry, a lot more easier, a lot easier on me to not worry about getting sued or something, too.
That was Sam Pittman kind of giving you a explanation, if you will, on reason why that he is in favor of the injury report prior to. I guess this would be like, is it the NFL Wednesdays is the day they have to put out their injury report, or is it Thursdays? One of those 2 days they have.
We got Chris on tonight. We can ask.
Yeah,
him.
that's true. That's true. And but most of those are so vague.
Yeah. And how many times was Tom Brady on the questionable list and played every time?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, coming up next, Trey Beatty, hogsports.com, being brought to you by Chris Crane Hyundai and Genesis of Conway. Hour number 2, straight ahead.
The Arkansas Poultry Federation presents Wingstock 2024 on Saturday, August 10th from noon to 3 at Simmons Bank Arena. Indulge in all-you-can-eat chicken wings featured by local restaurants and vendors who will be dishing up their best wing to compete for the People's Choice Award and the coveted Golden Wing Award. Plus, a variety of domestic and craft beers available for purchase. Tickets on sale now at the Arena box office or Ticketmaster.com. Brought to you in part by KARK4, Fox 16, and 103.7 The Buzz.
You know CertaPro Painters as your go-to choice for residential and commercial painting, but they also offer high-quality concrete coatings for your garage, patio, or commercial space, and they're looking to add to their rapidly growing team of installers. Whether you're an experienced installer or looking to start a new career, they provide comprehensive training and competitive pay. For an opportunity to join a team focused on creating lifetime opportunities for great people, call CertaPro today at 501-223-8988.
Listen every Wednesday when RJ Hawk joins his old buddies on Morning Mayhem. Presented by Natural State Wholesale Flooring. See everything that Natural State Wholesale has to offer at naturalstatewholesale.com.
Our guys aren't so bad, right?
This is taking unsportsmanlike conduct to a whole new level.
Well, maybe not. 103.7 The Buzz. KABZ Little Rock. Buzz News with KARK's Claire Kreitz.
A new safety measure will soon be put in place across the state. RDOT says Arkansas is one of the first states to put in wrong-way detection cameras on a large scale. The cameras detect when someone's driving the wrong direction and will flash warning signs at them. If that doesn't help, RDOT will contact police. RDOT says $55 million is funding 160 cameras between Little Rock and Memphis. UAMS, through their Arkansas Commission on Child Abuse, Rape, and Domestic Violence program, granted over $630,000 to 11 organizations focused on preventing child abuse and neglect. A Benton and Hot Springs organization, Cooper Anthony Mercy Child Advocacy Center, received $50,000 of that funding. It will help expand a school program in Saline, Garland, Grant, and Montgomery counties that provides children with the tools they need to identify child maltreatment. This is Claire Kreitz for the Buzz Radio Network.
Are you still on the sidelines? Then it's time you suit up and get in the game. Download Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app, Bet Saracen, today.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Pat Walker.
Normal temperatures have returned to central Arkansas today, right at our normal high of 92 degrees in Little Rock with a mostly sunny sky. Tonight, mostly clear, will drop off to 70, some of us down in the 60s tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 91. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Pat Walker.
Riverfront Steakhouse Special. Dinner for two for $60. 10-ounce filet, fried shrimp, 2 sides, and our famous salad bar. Only $60. Good Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night.
Listen to Out of Bounds every day to hear about what's trending on social media and whether listeners agree or disagree. Engaging conversations about engaging topics. Sponsored by Arkansas-based West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock and their 1.5 million coffee farmers around the globe as they fuel Arkansans with great-tasting coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA. That's 833-886-5282. Call today.
Hi folks, it's Chris Zender here at Frank Fletcher Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sherwood. When you're in the market for a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep or Ram, we hope you give us a chance to earn your business. Here's some things to consider. Fletcher Dodge has been family-owned dealer here in Sherwood for over 25 years. We know how to take care of our customers to keep them coming back. Every Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram dealer pays the same price for their vehicles. It's the dealer that makes the difference. We'll give you the best deal up front. No haggling, no arguing. We make it easy to buy a new vehicle, and we'll pay you more for your trade-in. Compare our deal to anybody's and you'll buy from us. Come see us today for the deal of a lifetime on new Dodge Chrysler Jeep or Ram. At Frank Fletcher Dodge, you'll always get the best price, the lowest finance rate, and more for your trade. And we promise you a hassle-free buying experience. We want to be your dealer for life. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Just tell us what you're looking for and we'll make you a deal. Come see us in person at Fletcher Dodge on Warden Road in Sherwood or shop online at FletcherDeals.com.
Hey, I'm Sherry with Central Arkansas Fireplaces. We'd like to take a moment to thank God and each of you that we've had the pleasure to work and visit with for making us the fastest growing fireplace company in the Southwest region last year. With your help, we've recently been blessed with better pricing that we're excited to be passing on to you. We're one of the only companies in Arkansas that has its own crew of installers and service techs that are fully insured and trained by us. So come see us at Central Arkansas Fireplaces, where we know fireplaces.
Baz, Scoops is my new go-to for coffee. You should go there now.
Raj, only if you join me for their ice cream. It's amazing.
Absolutely it is. They've got coffee with ice cream for those special days. Plus, their pastries and breakfast sandwiches are all local.
Raj, they even have a drive-thru. Greg Hatcher has thought of everything.
I love Greg Hatcher. You bet he has. Scoops is open all day, every day.
Perfect. Let's head there now. It's at the corner of Broadway and 3rd, downtown Little Rock.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you've ever stood overlooking a bluff on Pettigene, floated the Buffalo, taken a leisurely drive through miles of Delta farmland, or even witnessed a brilliant sunset from your own backyard, you know Arkansas is full of beauty. Naturally, that leaves no room for trash. Get litter out of the picture and keep Arkansas in its natural state, clean and green. Visit KeepArkansasBeautiful.com to learn more. A message from this station, the Arkansas Broadcasters Association, and the Keep Arkansas Beautiful Commission.
Awesome Thursday edition of Morning Mayhem is in the books. Want to thank Greg Hatcher and the folks at Scoops for hosting Roger and Baz today. The boys are back tomorrow. Big Friday show coming your way. Danny West, Bo Mattingly, and Heather Baker all coming up on a Friday at 6 to 10 right here on 103.7 The Buzz. It's Morning Mayhem.
Live from the Eat My Catfish studios, it's time for Arkansas's #1 collar-driven sports show. It's Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network with your hosts, Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaefer. Lock it in and get ready to dial us up. Drive Time Sports is on the air.
Hour number 2 at Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaefer standing by in Northwest Arkansas. I'm Randy Rainwater from the capital city. In a moment, we'll be joined by Trey Beatty of Hogsports.com, being brought to you by Chris Crane Hyundai and Genesis of Conway. I want to talk to you about Gwatney Chevrolet. The used car specials, they are rolling off of the lot. Mentioned you can start at $199 for a quality, used, previously owned vehicle. So if you're looking for that back-to-school vehicle, whether it's for a 16, 18-year-old, doesn't matter what age, but, well, they need to be at least 16 to be able to drive with a license, but you want to head to Gwatney Chevrolet. There you'll find a pre-owned vehicle that has gone through the extensive check that they would let their mother drive. Gwatney Chevrolet would let their mother drive That's the quality that you're looking for, the safety, peace of mind when you put your child behind the wheel of a vehicle. And if it needs service, certainly they've got the guys to back that up, guys and ladies that can back it up. And that's the beauty of the service department. It's award-winning, and they'll get you in and get you out. So if you're ready to shop or take that test drive, head out to Gwatney Chevrolet in Jacksonville, northbound. Get off at either the Main Street or the James Street exit. If you're coming southbound, get off at the Air Force Base exit. That's Gwatney Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
And now, Trey Biddy is brought to you by Chris Crane Hyundai, Arkansas's #1 Hyundai dealer, and Genesis of Conway, Arkansas's only Genesis dealer. Genesis of Conway, the future of luxury today. Now, here's Trey Biddy.
All right, this quick note before we say hello to Trey. Stay off of I-630 West. The entire interstate is standstill traffic. Wow. I-630 West. Detour if possible. Good afternoon, Mr. Trey Biddy.
Hey, guys.
You sound like you're deep in the well today.
I do.
You do?
Let me reset real quick then.
Oh, much better.
Yeah.
Much better.
It's like you were a distance from the microphone more than anything else.
Is this better?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you sound good.
There you are, Trey.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay. Good afternoon again, Mr. Trey.
Good afternoon. How are we doing?
Well, maybe you're going to help us do better because we don't know the rules. Okay? It seems like we were talking about on injuries. So back in my day, over 20 years ago, Dean Weber used to tell everybody what everybody's injury was and how long they'd be out. In recent years, it seems to Randy and me, and it seems like it's been your stance, that they don't tell you anything about injuries other than he's out, and they might say ankle or something like that. And then today, you got a pretty detailed list of injuries. So has something changed that we're unaware of?
No. If Sam Pittman discloses what the injuries are, then we disclose. Or if Kyle Parkinson, Sports Information, if somebody discloses what the injuries are, then we'll disclose. Otherwise, we just say, so-and-so was out. So-and-so missed practice. But today, Sam Pittman, in his press conference, basically just went over what everybody's dealing with. And nothing long-term. They've got a number of guys that, have concussion or concussion-like symptoms, a swollen knee. They wouldn't have, I don't think, gone into detail about any of those guys if it was something serious and long-term. And, in fact, Sam Pittman said if they had a game, then, half the guys would have been ready to go and play. But it does seem like a large number of players. The hamstring I saw, now that Coach Pittman has talked about it, I saw Andrew Armstrong had that injury a couple of days ago. He was very frustrated, slammed his helmet. It was the first play on one-on-one drills, 3 days ago. So, yeah, those are in more detail just because of Sam Pittman going into detail about them.
Well, so what you're saying then, because we always were under the impression that there were HIPAA laws that kept you from saying specific things, but what you're saying is it's the coach's discretion. It has nothing to do with the law.
Yeah. Does HIPAA laws apply to people other than doctors?
I don't know.
They always talk like it is.
I've heard it say HIPAA doesn't let us tell you about this.
Yes, exactly.
And now that's why today we were surprised to get so much detail on injuries.
Yeah, well, maybe there's something just because they're of the affiliation with the University of Arkansas or something. But if I found out about somebody's injury, then I'm not like obligated by HIPAA, right? I mean, so I don't know. I don't know what all the rules are, but I'm sure there's a doctor listening who might chime in, help us.
Maybe so. But at any rate, 15 guys missed today, but what he's saying is no reason to be alarmed. They should all be back fairly soon.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it, though. I mean, you're out there scrimmages, you're in full pads, and I just feel like you need to develop that rhythm and get in sync really well with pads on, with guys that you're going to be throwing the ball to. I mean, three of the top four guys that are going to catch passes this year were out.
Yeah.
Andrew Armstrong's out, Luke Haas is out, Tyrone Broden's out. Isaiah Satania had a big game, big scrimmage. He had a 45-yard catch on the first play. Later he had a 65-yard touchdown catch. So he had a big day today in their absence, so stepped up. That's good to see. But you also were without Jaquindon Jackson. You were without Rashad DeBinion. Now, I do know that something they were talking about was how they want like the quarterback cadences to all be the same and stuff. I can remember about Bobby Petrino. He was just very strict about that, watching practices back when he was here before, just about, running backs all, staying on the same tracks and, doing it, just a specific way so it's always in sync. So maybe that'll help. But, yeah, there's too many key players to me out, even though it's minor injuries and it's not stuff that's going to be long-term. I'd like to see those guys out there practicing and, especially scrimmaging.
Yeah, that was my first thought, Trey, and that's why one of the reasons I was kind of badgering you the other day about when they moved Wiggins to center and Addison over to guard and so forth and so on, how they performed, how they stood up against the number one offensive defensive line. And
well, also like I don't like back injuries for offensive linemen.
Never.
And yeah, Kudus is dealing with a back. I think it was maybe telling a little bit, like this is a scrimmage. It's an opportunity to, obviously play his game like it's possible. And your center this year is going to be Addison Nichols, right? So it seems like it would make right. It seems like it would make more sense if you felt good that Kudus is just going to be right back. It seems like it would make sense to have Nichols still work at center because Kudus is going to slide in at guard. But they didn't do that. They had Nichols at guard today in Kudus' spot. And that makes me kind of wonder, like, is this going to be something that's going to be long-term or something they worry about being long-term? So,
yeah, he also said, if you remember, Trey, start off saying we held him out for a week. We're going to hold him out for another week, maybe another week and a half. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, Coach, it's going to almost be kickoff time against UAPB. That you'll keep holding him out. How much longer is it really going to be?
Dalton Wagner dealt with back issues, but always got ready to play. So hopefully it won't be something that's lingering. And we've all had back stuff, here and there. Sometimes you don't even do anything, just like or reach behind your seat in your car. And you're like, oh, seize up or something. But that's, I think just getting old. But we all had, stuff that's bothered us and, get treatment on it. And, eventually it goes away. Hopefully that's what it is. Hopefully it's just something that's maybe seized up a little bit and works out pretty quick and not something that's going to be long term. But I do wonder about moving Nichols to guard for this scrimmage. It just seems like it would make more sense if you felt he's going to be your center in a game to leave him at center in this case.
You kind of teased on this. What a day, at least it appeared early, by Isaiah Satania. I mean, didn't he have a 65-yard and a 45-yard and then another 20 or so? I mean, he sounded like he got off to a red-hot start.
Yeah, the first play of the scrimmage was a 45-yard catch, and then he had a 65-yard catch and run. Looked like it was on an out, maybe a flag or something. I couldn't tell exactly on the video. I saw it on the video, but it was a catch and run for 65 yards. So, yeah, I mean, it's good to see Satania getting things going. I had heard something not long after Bobby Petrino was hired that somebody told me he'd watched video on everybody and was like, "What's the deal with Isaiah Satania? Why is he not getting the ball?" This is from not from Petrino, from somebody who said Petrino said this, but he was, I think, before I ever officially announced him, that people were saying, or that somebody had told me that he had said that, like he was very intrigued with Isaiah Satania. Satania has looked very smooth out there to me. He is noticeably bigger. You can see it, just if you watch the press conferences, you can see it in his neck. You can see his neck and his shoulders are bigger. But he really glides, and I mean he moves very smoothly, as we know. We've seen that. It's just for him. It's just about figuring out the best ways to get him the ball. And I know a guy that knows how to do that, and it's Bobby Petrino. And so I think that there's a chance that he could have a really, really good year. I like Arkansas's receivers. I don't know that, like, we're talking about a bunch of NFL guys, but I look at Tyrone Broden and I see 6'7", 200 pounds, one of the 4 fastest guys on the team. Can make really good catches, like really impressive one-handed spectacular catches in practice at least. And I think, like, what's not to like about this guy? Like, what's not to like about 6'7", 22 plus miles an hour and really good hands and kind of a chip on his shoulder too. Andrew Armstrong was very consistent for Arkansas last year, very steady player. And, I'd take that again. I'd take what he gave him last year again, and I think he'll probably be a little better. I think he'll be a decent bit better. And, Satania, I think, is going to take things up. And they like what they saw from Davion. I've always liked Davion Dozier since he came on campus. I just think he has that look about him. Maybe it's the 88 playmaker number or something like that, but he just has that kind of look about him. That he's going to be a really good player one day. He's made some really impressive catches in practice. I've seen 2 very impressive one-handed grabs by him. He's got good size at 6'4". Now, are any of these guys NFL guys? To be an NFL wide receiver, you have to be, like, dominating out there. Like, you should be just destroying people. So I don't know if they have that yet or not, but I do think it's a pretty decent-looking group, and some guys, there's some experience out there. And I like what Sam Pittman said today. He's Taylor Green's a passing quarterback. He can run. He can hurt you running, but he's going to be a passer. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I don't dislike this wide receiver core, and I think they got a good bunch of tight ends. Now, can they protect? What happens when the lights come on? What happens when the pressure comes? What happens when as Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. What happens when that happens? So they're going to be better on offense, though. I don't think there's any question about that. But I don't like that Jaquindon Jackson's not out there getting live tackle. The Binion's not. Andrew Armstrong wasn't out there. Tyrone Broden wasn't out there. Lucas wasn't out there.
Trey, I was impressed with how Taylor Green handled himself today in the press conference. I thought, he acted like a established quarterback.
He's very measured. He doesn't just pop off. And like I said, before he'd even taken a rep in spring football, all I had heard about was how he had just won the team over. So he's very popular with the team. He throws a nice ball too. Like, he doesn't throw wild spirals or stuff like that. I've mentioned last spring there was a period, and we got a lot more access in the spring. We watched the whole practices, but there was a time where he was just throwing them. I don't know what was going on, but 7-8 yards out of bounds on a deep ball, and just guy didn't even have a chance. He wasn't throwing it away. And then he picked it up and pulled it back together again, and that can be installed, just kind of maybe the grind of the middle of camp and, learning a new system and stuff. But I don't know. I look at these guys, and you guys know I'm not like predicting 8 wins or anything like that. I haven't done that. I've been thinking more, struggle to get to a bowl game. But there is a lot of potential I see out there. With Taylor, who's, a 6'6" quarterback, and he's got a 6'6", 6'7" wide receiver, 6'4" wide receiver, another 6'4" wide receiver. He's got Isaiah Satania is extremely fast and shifty. I like Jaquindon Jackson a lot, and, I think this offensive line is going to be better. I just don't know that it's going to be good. I think that could be the question. but Sam Pittman was once the best offensive line coach in the country, and he has worked with the offensive line. Him and Mateo, they've got 2 offensive line coaches. I think I said this the other day, but like about the idea that there's, Pittman's his GA. Pittman is coaching. I mean, he is. I bet he hasn't worked with the offensive line. I know he hasn't worked with the offensive line as much as he does now, and part of that's bringing in Bobby Petrino, who, I mean, let's face it, is another head coach in a lot of ways for this. The head coach of the offense. You call him offensive coordinator, but he is the voice out there when they're out there, throwing passes and running team and stuff. He is the voice of the offense. And we've talked a lot about offense. We haven't talked about defense much today, but the defense did pretty well too. Like what Sam Pittman said at the end of the defense started off slow, and maybe it was just getting out there for the first time, live tackle for the first time early in the morning. All that stuff. Maybe it was that. But at the end of the scrimmage, when the offense needed to run the ball, they couldn't. And I'm talking the first team offense. The defense was standing them up. I mean, like you look at the rushing totals, guys, like the highlight plays, there was a 15-yard run by Braylon Russell, an 8-yard run, I think, by Braylon, an 8-yard run by Rodney Hill, and I believe the only explosive play would have been the 37-yard run by Taylor Green, who, by the way, is off limits, right? So I think that's pretty telling. Like those are the rushing highlights that we got today. So I think that's pretty telling. But at the end, when they, like, hey, we need to run the ball, and this is this situation, whatever, the offense wasn't able to do it.
Let's talk with Woo Pig. Is it Woo Pig Snuggles? You have a question or comment for Trey?
Pig Snugs.
Let's just go right to the question. How about that?
Yeah, let's do that. I've been called worse. Trey, just
Snuggles.
Curious.
You're Snuggles now. You got to be Snuggles now.
That's fun. That's fun. Afternoon, gentlemen. Trey, just curious. I know you've hit on the receiving core a lot already today and offense a lot, but I think I hope it's not just me. I hope the rest of the fan base is curious. Who do you think our guy is? Who is our go-to guy on the receiving end? And would just love to get your input on it, and love listening to y'all. Appreciate your time.
Yeah,
thank you.
Well, as far as overall, like when it's 3rd and 8, and you got to have it, I think you're going to see. I think you'll see him look a lot towards Luke Hasz, a lot. I think he's a matchup problem, and so I think that. But otherwise, until somebody shows me that Andrew Armstrong's not that guy, it's Andrew Armstrong. He is steady. He's a good looking. I mean, he's 6'4", 200 plus. He was productive last year he was. What, guys, the most productive offensive player Arkansas had last year?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, on a really bad offense. So he's got a chance to really improve those numbers. He's also I don't think there's any question that he is the leader of that team. He will be, I believe, voted a team captain. So I think it'll be Taylor Green and Andrew Armstrong probably your offensive team captains. So, it's him until – somebody shows otherwise.
Let's see. This from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line from the 501. Is there a scrimmage Saturday? And is it open to the public? I want to take my grandkids.
No, I'm sorry. There's no. Yeah. Thursday scrimmages. It's I've been thinking it's Saturday all day today because I don't ever remember them really. Yeah. I even wrote, I think in a headline, Saturday scrimmage, stats. And, I woke up this morning and, I do certain things during the week that I do differently on the weekends. And I was doing weekend things when I got up, like indulging in, maybe not the healthiest breakfast kind of stuff, just because I was where my mind was, So, anyway, I've been thinking it was Saturday all day, but first scrimmage was today. They can hold one more scrimmage per NCAA rules, and that will also be on Thursday. And obviously, one of the reasons they've geared that like that is because of the pushback with the calendar, because they were able to start camp a couple of days earlier because the first game is on a Thursday. So it just made sense to orchestrate it like that.
And that next scrimmage comes up next week, a week from today.
Most likely, almost certainly closed.
All right, Trey, we will talk with you tomorrow. That is Trey Beatty, hogsports.com, being brought to you by Chris Green, Hyundai, and Genesis of Conway.
It's your Razor Hog update as Out of Bounds keeps you updated from the hill. Presented by Bradford Marine and ATV, your Can-Am Super Headquarters. BradfordMarine.com.
Hey, this is Mitch with Red River Auto. You know, we're pushing 20 years of being in business, starting at Heber Springs and Red River. And now we've got a Ford store in Cabot and a Ford and Toyota store in Wynn, along with our pre-owned store right there in Jacksonville. Folks, you know us for our huge discounts. Like right now, we have rebates up to $15,000 off Ram trucks. But we've also got the Ford, and what a lot of people don't know is we have the Toyota Tundra too. Folks, if you want a great deal on a vehicle, check us out at redriverauto.com.
Try Slim Chicken's new Big Deal Chicken Sandwich for a limited time only at select locations. Slim's 100% all-natural hand-breaded chicken breast layered with fresh, crisp pickles and handmade, crunchy fried pickles with that house-made dill aioli, all on a toasted brioche bun. The Big Deal Chicken Sandwich at Slim Chickens for a limited time only. Oh, wow, that's delicious.
Stay up to date with the latest Razorback news with the Red White Report every weekday with Justin and DJ on The Zone. Presented by Tiretown Point S in Benton. Make sure your car is game day ready before you head up to the hill with Tiretown Point S.
You know CertaPro Painters as your go-to choice for residential and commercial painting, but they also offer high-quality concrete coatings for your garage, patio, or commercial space, and they're looking to add to their rapidly growing team of installers. Whether you're an experienced installer or looking to start a new career, they provide comprehensive training and competitive pay. For an opportunity to join a team focused on creating lifetime opportunities for great people, call CertaPro today at 501-223-8988.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
See shelter agents Richard Yeager or Jason Daly in Little Rock or Agent Lawrence Forrester in Cabot today.
Dizzy's Gypsy Bistro, still downtown in the River Market, still offering a wide selection of all those stunning craft cocktails, including a great wine list and a wide selection of beer. And still with an eclectic, funky vibe, along with a wall full of great art. But now featuring an all-new menu that still has some of the old favorites on it too, including wedding cake. And of course, Dizzy's is the multiple-time winner of the Best Cheese Dip in the World competition. With a dog-friendly patio, great service, and room for large parties, up to 100 with reservations, Dizzy's will have you coming back again and again.
Morning Mayhem on location Monday at Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union in Benton. The countdown has begun as the summer auto loan special wraps up at the end of the month. Don't miss out on 1.99% interest, 84 months financing, and no payment for 90 days.
Live from the Eat My Catfish studios, you feed your crave for sports by listening to Drive Time Sports. Much like you feed your crave at any of the 7 Eat My Catfish locations. Often imitated but never duplicated. This is Drive Time Sports with Randy Rainwater on the Buzz Radio Network.
I guess you can say the wait's over for those of us been waiting for this night to roll around, because that means now we can go take advantage of the Riverfront Steakhouse dinner for two for $60. That's right. Tonight, tomorrow night, Friday night. Oh, I'm like Trey. I'm off on my days. Okay, tonight being Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights. That's the 3 nights open for the Riverfront Steakhouse in the Wyndham Hotel in North Little Rock. Those are the 3 nights we can go take advantage of the dinner for two for $60. It all starts with that fantastic salad bar. best salad bar in the United States. Start say North America, but we'll just say the United States. Largest salad bar. Over 30 items, including baby shrimp, iceberg, romaine lettuce, spinach, pastas, and a tremendous variety of dressings. Then the main meal, folks. Here it comes. Cooked to perfection. Has that glazed topping on it. It's got that combination of a little bit of a pepper and butter. Melts in your mouth. You don't even really need a knife steak. You probably could cut it with your butter knife. 10 ounce where you split it. 5 ounce for either the favorite person, either the special person, and then 5 ounce for you. And then the 4 of the famous Frank Fletcher fried shrimp, which I've mentioned them over and over and over again. I get 4 more. That gives me 8 total. Carrie has 4. I have 4. Again, a perfect split. And then you get to pick from 2 side items that you can share. Trust me, the baked potato is big enough to share. It's already cut in half. I just give Carrie half of it if she wants it, because it's almost like a meal to her into itself. But then we also share the hibachi fried rice with chicken. That's a delicious entree. So check it out for yourself. Dinner for 2, $60, Wyndham Hotel, Riverfront Steakhouse. Make a reservation right now. Shapur, he's standing by the phone. He's waiting for you to call. 501-371-9000. 501-371-9000. Tell them I sent you. They'll even give you my table. Take advantage tonight, tomorrow night, and Saturday night. Riverfront Steakhouse, Wyndham Hotel in North Little Rock. All right, let's check in with, he's
Chris,
there.
Right? Yeah, we can hear him.
He is there. That's Chris Turnage, our NFL agent and guru. I love pushing that button and then hearing that noise, Rick. I know Chris is there.
I know he's there. That's great. So, Chris.
I'm here, guys.
We were talking about today, Arkansas released more about injured players than we've seen them do in years, and Trey Biddy was telling us it was because Sam Pittman chose to give that information. In the NFL, they give every week, you can tell us it's either Wednesday or Thursday, you get your injury report. They're either out, probable, possible, game time decision, those kind of things.
Questionable, right.
Do they ever, are they specific about injuries, or is that all they say?
In the NFL, they will be specific somewhat. They'll say questionable knee, questionable hip, whatever, but they won't give any. They're not required to give any more than that.
So they'll just say hip. They won't say hip flexor or
correct
fractured hip. It's just hip.
It could be knee, elbow, whatever. But that's the extent. Now, a lot of times from the beat writers, you'll get a little bit more. If you truly want to know, and they'll say, hey, it is a hip flexor, whatever. But in terms of the actual release, they have to designate, questionable, probable, or likely, or doubtful, and then that, the one kind of body part or whatever.
So what is questionable? What is questionable, Chris? When they say this player is questionable, what do they really mean then?
They have a percentage out there, Randy, and I think it's like questionable is maybe 50 or 60% chance of playing, something like that. Doubtful is less than 20. I'm not exactly sure on those percentages, but there is kind of at least a metric that they're supposed to use. And then they also have to obviously report if they miss practice, due to injury. So they do have to report that as well. Miss Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday practice, questionable. But it's something that they at least have tried to make uniform across all the teams, so that each person doesn't come up with their own definition of questionable, probable, etc.
So why don't they just say, rather than question, why don't they just say Tom Brady? Everybody would know he was always questionable.
Frequently questionable, but he always played.
Yeah. But he always played, yeah.
So what you're saying also, when you mention the beat writer, you might get more from. That's an interesting statement there. The beat writers get to watch most of practice, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So in college's situation, if you want to watch Arkansas's practice, and somebody gets hurt at practice, you can't report it unless the coach says so, or you won't be watching practice. So in the NFL, what you're saying is, the team could say he or she or he is questionable, but the beat reporter might know that it's more than questionable because he knows the injury is more. He knows a little bit more about the injury. Is that correct? And can he report it?
That's absolutely right. Yeah, that's absolutely right.
And can he report it and still be able to go to practice?
Now, some teams I think might hold it against them. Generally, they can report that kind of stuff. But again, sometimes they're going to say, hey, just understand if you report this, there's going to be consequences. We can't stop you from reporting it, but we can, limit. But for the most part, it just goes back to the reporting injuries. And the origination of that was mainly because of the betting markets.
Yeah,
the NFL wanted to have the public more interested with the betting markets. And as college has embraced that and you see more and more sports gambling legalized, I think you're going to see kind of eventually the same type of reporting format and reporting requirements. And I will say this, whether you gamble on sports, whether you don't, it greatly increased the popularity of NFL by having, so much legalized gambling on it. Greatly increased that popularity.
Oh, no doubt.
And, the reason they're taking care of those interest levels with injury reports. So
that's right, and the NFL has benefited with sponsorships, as has college athletics, and so we're going to see that. And it looks like the SEC next week, we're thinking, is going to make an announcement that they are going to have injury reports, similar to the NFL. The Big Ten's already doing it. We didn't realize that till this week. So interesting changes.
Yep.
So it wasn't an injury, but the Jets, because it was raining, held Aaron Rodgers out against the Washington Commanders, and evidently Aaron Rodgers wanted to play. What do you think of that?
I think Robert Saleh is fighting for his job, and he was horrified in the first game of the year last year, so he's going to do everything he can to try to get a full season with Aaron Rodgers. Because if that happens, it's going to save his job. So I think that's absolutely he's going to be way more cautious than not.
Wouldn't you think Aaron Rodgers would understand that and not say, I want to play, or at least if he says, hey, I wanted to play, but I get it?
Oh, I'm sure Aaron Rodgers does probably get it, but you've also got a competitor, and he wants to, so I'm sure he does get it. But at the same time, he's not one necessarily to be coy too much with his feelings. He's going to usually tell you kind of what he thinks. So, hey, I want to go out there and play. A better answer. I agree with you, Rick. Hey, I certainly wouldn't be out there, but I understand the reasoning. But he chose not to add that.
But is he not also coming off of the PR backlash for that little trip he took to Egypt? And he's letting everyone know, I wanted to play. So
I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know about that. You think, really?
Who knows? But, it happened. But who knows if that was the motivation.
People are afraid. You think the Jets, the first game they lose, they're going to say, well, that's because Aaron Rodgers went to Egypt.
They blamed it on.
They were supposed to be at minicamp.
Cowboy fans blamed a little.
It is the New York media. They are pretty crazy.
Didn't a quarterback and another player take a little trip down to Mexico?
That was during the playoffs. That wasn't during the.
But they weren't playing.
Right,
but they should have stayed there and focused on.
That's right. The playoffs had started. This is in the summer. You went to Egypt in the summer.
Well, he got fined for it, though.
Yeah, I'm sure he paid. Paid the fine. It was probably a pyramid scheme, don't you think?
Oh. Something like that might actually be a headline in the New York Times, the New York Post. You see, all their creative headlines if they do lose.
That's true.
It was a pyramid scheme. Steve, good afternoon. Welcome to Drive Time Sports.
Yeah, I tried to call, but I missed Trey at the end. I may have missed, I don't know his name anymore, but what about the professional baseball player?
Monte Harrison. He keeps flashing.
How does he compare?
He's flashing.
Okay.
He's flashing. I predict I'm not sure how soon or how quickly. I think he'll make that rotation eventually. The man is apparently too good. He's just getting back into football shape and understanding terminology and so forth and so on. But I think he'll make his way into the rotation. He's too talented.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. I just had not thought of him in a while, and I wanted to know the status of him.
You got it. Thank
now
you.
I know his name.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay,
Monte. It looks like
one
Monty.
receiver that I'm intrigued is Jordan Anthony. We hadn't heard much about him at all.
No, we have not.
Bobby Petrino's number one choice to come in as a receiver
from A&M, right? All we know is he's fast.
Hill.
Yeah.
And I think Tyreek Hill. And when I actually had talked to Petrino about Jordan, and he said, look, he makes Satania look slow. He said, Jordan Anthony has got world-class speed. And he said his film guys put a cut up of Jordan Anthony and Tyreek Hill running the 100. And Jordan Anthony beat him by quite a bit in that, in 100, obviously. A couple steps is quite a bit. And so it's pretty amazing. But, I've yet to hear much about him at all,
maybe
making an impact and with that kind of speed.
Maybe that's by design. Maybe they don't want anybody to know about him. And all of a sudden, you're playing Oklahoma State or something, and this guy's 10 yards behind everybody.
But he's not showing up anywhere near on the fastball starts or anything. The guy that has finally broken through, Chris, and I don't think he's got anywhere near the speed of Satania, especially Anthony, but is a guy named Bryce Stevens who's starting to show up on the 3 deep, so to speak. I realize fastball starts, and we've talked about this over and over again, it's 4 plays, and that's all it is. But each unit, first, second, third, gets out there. Well, it is in some ways. You're kind of understand there is a little bit of a depth chart, I think, just based upon who they trot out there in those fastball starts. So, anyway, but I have not seen Anthony anywhere.
Well, maybe we'll see him behind the defense one time, and you'll say, "Whoa, there
he is."
There he is. That'd be great, yeah.
All right, Chris, hang on. We got to step away for a moment. Drive Time Sports. We'll continue in a moment.
Coach Kevin Kelly joins the Zone each Wednesday, presented by the Wooded Rock Athletic Club. The indoor pickleball facility is now open with observation areas, flat screens, and a snack bar.
Your change can help families of hospitalized children at Ronald McDonald House. Just ask to round up for RMHC when you place your order anytime you're at McDonald's. This way, families of critically ill children at Ronald McDonald House can stay at no cost while their child is receiving life-saving care at a local hospital. All of that change stays right here in Little Rock. So next time you're at McDonald's, ask to round up for RMHC. You'll be leaving with so much more than just a meal.
Is your marriage over? Assets? Debts? Custody? For divorces, hire the Lions. There's no one better to protect your pride than our pride of Legal Lions. Exceptional communication and exceptional results in both the negotiating room and the courtroom. Lion Legal, the legal pride of Arkansas. Call 227-ROAR and Lion Legal will come roaring to the rescue.
Hi, it's Frank Fletcher from the Fletcher Dodge store here in Sherwood. Folks, if you're shopping for a new car or truck, I hope you'll come see us and give us a chance to earn your business. We have huge discounts, 0% financing available, and we'll give you $1,000 over Kelly Blue Book value for your trade-in. Folks, I guarantee you a hassle-free buying experience. And if you've had credit problems in the past, listen to this. We have an easy pre-approval process. Just go to FletcherCredit.com to get started. You can be pre-approved in minutes. It's really not hard. FletcherCredit.com. Folks, we're also still buying cars every day. If you got an old car or truck you want to turn into cash, bring it to Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood and ask for Chris or Andy. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Shop in person or shop online at FletcherDeals.com. Thank you.
This is Pat Bradley, and I'll be on Morning Mayhem Weekly, presented by Mickey Hennard and his staff at Hennard Foothills Equipment in Searcy. They're your leaders in hay equipment and your local hometown Kubota dealer, no matter where you live. Take exit 42 in Searcy.
Every day, we do one thing, and we do it at the highest level. We formed Arkansas Urology more than 25 years ago, and ever since, our world-class team has gained experience and expertise in every aspect of urology. Today, you'll find our state-of-the-art facilities across Arkansas, where the latest technologies are used in innovative ways by skilled specialists who are dedicated to one thing, improving lives every day. Schedule your appointment at arkansasurology.com.
Make this summer one to remember by stopping by Arch Marine in North Little Rock. Arch is all about creating fun on our lakes and rivers. You have to come by and see the new 2024 G3 Tri-Tunes, the hottest and coolest ride out there. We're easy to find. Take the Levy exit.
Now, back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios. Eat fresh, eat local, eat my catfish. You're safe at home with Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network.
Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaefer. I'm Randy Rainwater. We'll be rejoined by Chris Turnage, our NFL agent and guru, in a moment. In this economy at First Security, we're lending more than just a hand. First Security is still helping our customers by providing the loans they need, whether it's for your home, your business, or your family. At First Security, we have the type of loan that's right for you. Whether it's a personal loan, home loans and refinancing, home equity loans, commercial loans, with a 90-year history, First Security has been doing this for a long time, and no federal assistance is needed. So when you need a loan, you'll find one here. Call or stop by any First Security location today for better loans backed by better personal service. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, only in Arkansas. That's First Security Bank. Once again, Chris Turnage, our NFL agent and guru, now joined by Sterling. Sterling, good afternoon. Welcome to Drive Time Sports.
Hey, guys. Since we got Chris on here, I want to talk a little bit about the salary cap. In this season, it's supposed to be $255.4 million. Now, the Cowboys up against the cap. Even though they're not playing, that cash money they're playing is not very much. But on the books, against the cap, they're up against it. Now, Jerry was talking about going all in. Now, everybody automatically assumed that meant extensions for Dak, CD, Parsons, restructuring, Biggs and Steele, and Martin, and a 60 for Cook, which would have opened up some cap space, around $78 million worth of cap space. And that's with the top 51. So you got room for two more signees. My question is, what is the logic behind this strategy what the Cowboys doing? Because they actually not paying. They're one of the lowest paying teams out there in terms of cash value contracts. But they're up against the cap, and it could have been restructured. They could have manipulated to make cap space for Barkley or Henry or anybody else they want to sign. Just in your opinion, what do you think the Cowboys' strategy is right now, Chris?
You know, it's a good question, Sterling, and you hit a lot of it on the head. Is, you know, NFL teams have two sets of books, a cash set of books and a cap set of books. Cash is what they're actually spending. Cap is what counts against the cap. Normally, the cap is less based on, you know, what they're how they stretch it out. But in the Cowboys' case, it's kind of reversed just because the situation they've got it in. I mean, cash is way less. You're right, and so. I think the only strategy that I can come up with as to why they did this is, hey, let's see how these guys play, and if they don't get to the playoffs and make a run, they're good players. But what does it help us? And we might have to kind of blow it up and start over. That's the only thing I can feel like, because as you mentioned, they could have restructured some of these other guys and go ahead and gotten these deals done, but they've chosen not to. And so the only thing I can think of is, hey, let's let it ride. Let's see if they're going to take us to the promised land, and if not.
But when does that dead money, when does that dead money, though, catch up with the Cowboys?
Well, it's here. They're experiencing some of it, and then they'll have some of it next year, regardless of what happens with that, potentially. But you got to also understand the cap's probably going to go up another 15 to 20 million, which helps absorb some of that dead money.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, at some point, kind of like we talked about last week, a lot of teams kick the can down the road, and at some point, all of a sudden, you've got so much dead money that you can't afford to sign your better players, and then you're in pretty bad shape. You're playing with a lot of maybe lower caliber guys at that point. If it does catch up, we're kind of all hit. So there's a chance that happens in the next year or two.
But how bad is dead money? I mean, it's a lot of teams that had dead money and it didn't really hurt them much. I mean, Tampa Bay had dead money with Brady last season. And, they ended up making the division round, gave Detroit a tough game. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but there were several teams, maybe Detroit was it, or Rams, had some serious dead money. But, I mean, I know it counts against them on who they're going to sign, but you can really work around that. And can't you split it up, some dead money for different years? Split it in half.
It depends on how the original contract was structured. There are some provisions that you can divide it up over years, depending on how the original contract is structured. Highest dead money hit ever, Russell Wilson, and look how they finished. So certainly, I agree with you, Sterling. There are some teams that they have a better cap situation overall to handle that dead money, so they can adjust and it doesn't affect them that much. But when you start talking, 40, 45, used to that was unheard of. No team would ever consider that. But now, because the cap has gone up so much, you see the Eagles are one of the first to do it with Wentz, to take a $27 million dead cap hit, and work around it. I mean, it does catch up with some teams. As I mentioned, the Broncos obviously were talent deficient last year. Some of that was because they were dealing with such a huge cap number on dead cap number from Russell Wilson. But, you're right. Some teams can absolutely work around it. Some can't. And what I like in it too is in everyday personal finance, everyday accountant. Some accountants can help you save some money and are really good at that. Some accountants just put in your numbers and don't really worry about some tax breaks. And it's kind of the same way. You have better planners and better strategists in those cap rooms with some teams than you do with others.
Because like the Eagles, like you said, Wentz, they paid Wentz big money. They done paid Hurts already. The receiver, they paid Brown, and I think they paid the Heisman Trophy winner already. And they signed Barkley. They did trade the linebacker to the Jets, but they seem to get who they want. I mean, that's just very frustrating from the Cowboy. I'm a diehard Cowboy fan, if you haven't noticed, and it's kind of frustrating to see the.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a Cowboys fan too. Yeah, I'm with you.
To see Filthy seem like they get whatever they want when they want it, and be having trouble. But thanks for the time. Thanks, Rick and Randy. Great show, and everyone have a great day.
Thank you, Sterling. You likewise.
Okay, so Chris, there's a bunch of exhibition games this weekend. How many games really mean anything? Are there going to be starters we should be looking at? Or is there something intriguing about a game that you can't wait to see?
Well, I will record almost every game and to watch for my guys, really and truly. And so but I'll fast forward if I have guys I want to playing defense. I'll fast forward through the offense to be to watch that so I can have a sense of how they're doing, how the team is looking as a whole, how other teams might fit. It is a huge deal you're going to see the starters for most teams play a quarter or less. But it is a huge deal for those second, third, and fourth string guys trying to make rosters. This is where guys can absolutely make a roster, and guys can lose a roster spot. And so there'll be a lot of players playing for which the normal fan name they don't ring a bell. They don't know who they are. But it is a huge deal, for those guys, for agents, everybody else, as they're trying to make a squad and get some film out for other teams to see.
I guess that's important for you, Chris, is it not? Because let's say you've got several players and they end up losing their job where they are now. By watching other teams, you're able to see if they may have a need for that particular player.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly right.
So I'm guessing these games even if they're exhibition games or not, they're very important for these players to find a roster spot. When is the actual first cut down? How soon is it, Chris?
Now, so they've changed it. In the past, they would have 2 cut downs, 3 cut downs. Now
Right.
they're down to 1 cut down, so you can keep the full 90-man roster, all the way through all the preseason games. And part of that was because teams complained because they didn't want to have to play their starters in the 3rd or 4th game if they didn't want to. And so there's 1 cut down, and it's going to be generally that Monday after the 3rd preseason game. Some teams will start a little earlier, and you'll see some start trickling out Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But Monday is kind of that Black Monday. And the rule of thumb in our business is I don't want to see my phone ring because they don't call to tell you make it. They call if you don't. And same thing with the players. They don't call you to congratulate you. They just call you if you got cut. So if my phone didn't ring that whole day, I would be ecstatic.
Wow, that'd be tough for you as an agent to have to sit there, just stare at that phone hour after.
Don't ring.
Put it on silent. That way you don't know it's ringing. All right, Chris.
Exactly.
Enjoy the
Thanks,
weekend. We'll talk with you next week. That is Chris Turnage, our NFL agent and guru. Rick Schaefer. I'm Randy Rainwater. Coming up next, Brad Boulding, head football coach of the Little Rock Patriots. Exciting information to share. Stay tuned.
Presents Family Feud on 103.7 The Buzz. Tune in to Morning Mayhem on Tuesday mornings for your chance to play with Justin Moore, David, and Roger. Family Feud on Morning Mayhem brought to you by Southern Bank. Bankwithsouthern.com.
Hey, Central Arkansas, have you visited the new Lumber One and Design One in West Little Rock? There's something for everyone. That's because our newest location is one place for windows and doors, appliances, kitchens, baths, lighting, and so much more. One place for inspiration, one place for free design services, and one place for all of your home and design needs. And still one place for lumber, paint, hardware, and outdoor. It's all at Lumber One and Design One in West Little Rock. Colonel Glenn at 4:30.
Serious injuries happen every day.
If it happens to you, don't wait. Dial 8.
Dial 8 for Rainwater, Holt, and Sexton.
888-8888.
Anywhere in the state, dial 8.
We've got you covered, Arkansas. Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
Morning Mayhem wants to know, is it fact or is it crap? Listen each week for your chance to play, presented by Hubbard Power Sports Can-Am and Cedar of Russellville. Whether you're on the road, on the water, or in the trails, we've got the ride for you.
ESPN and The Buzz gives you the complete sports and entertainment package.
I love that game.
103.7 The Buzz, KABZ Little Rock. Buzz News with KARK's Claire Kreitz.
The new safety measure will soon be put in place across the state. RDOT says Arkansas is one of the first states to put in wrong-way detection cameras on a large scale. The cameras detect when someone's driving the wrong direction and will flash warning signs at them. If that doesn't help, RDOT will contact police. RDOT says $55 million is funding 160 cameras between Little Rock and Memphis. UAMS, through their Arkansas Commission on Child Abuse, Rape, and Domestic Violence program, granted over $630,000 to 11 organizations focused on preventing child abuse and neglect. A Benton and Hot Springs organization, Cooper Anthony Mercy Child Advocacy Center, received $50,000 of that funding. It will help expand a school program in Saline, Garland, Grant, and Montgomery counties that provides children with the tools they need to identify child maltreatment. This is Claire Kreitz for the Buzz Radio Network.
If you don't already have the Bet Saracen Sports Wager app, download it today from the app stores or go to BetSaracen.com. Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports betting app.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Pat Walker.
Normal temperatures have returned to central Arkansas today, right at our normal high of 92 degrees in Little Rock with a mostly sunny sky. Tonight, mostly clear, will drop off to 70, some of us down in the 60s tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 91. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Pat Walker.
Riverfront Steakhouse Special, dinner for two for $60. 10-ounce filet, fried shrimp, 2 sides, and our famous salad bar. Only $60. Good Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night.
Tune in to 103.7 The Buzz every Thursday night at 8 for Between the Mats high school football show with your hosts, Matt Wilcox and Matt McJunkins. You'll hear coaches' interviews and player interviews. You'll also get weekly top 10s and player of the week picks for each classification every week, plus t-shirt giveaways and fan interactive pick'em challenges with prizes. Between the Mats on The Buzz each Thursday is brought to you by Hooten's Football, your number one source for Arkansas high school football.
Hi folks, it's Chris Zender here at Frank Fletcher Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sherwood. When you're in the market for a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep or Ram, we hope you give us a chance to earn your business. Here's some things to consider. Fletcher Dodge has been family-owned dealer here in Sherwood for over 25 years. We know how to take care of our customers to keep them coming back. Every Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram dealer pays the same price for their vehicles. It's the dealer that makes the difference. We'll give you the best deal up front. No haggling, no arguing. We make it easy to buy a new vehicle, and we'll pay you more for your trade-in. Compare our deal to anybody's, and you'll buy from us. Come see us today for the deal of a lifetime on new Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Ram. At Frank Fletcher Dodge, you'll always get the best price, the lowest finance rate, and more for your trade. And we promise you a hassle-free buying experience. We want to be your dealer for life. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Just tell us what you're looking for and we'll make you a deal. Come see us in person at Fletcher Dodge on Warden Road in Sherwood or shop online at FletcherDeals.com.
It's Justin Acree for Coffin by Design West. Shop with the local folks and get exactly what you want. You can also shop from the convenience of your own home by going to KaufmanLumber.com. There's an online store with over 800,000 items in inventory that can be delivered straight to your front door. Items in inventory include everything from hardware to housewares, heating and cooling supplies, lawn and garden tools, sporting goods, store and office supplies, and there's a huge range of products in each area available. So go by their store in West Little Rock at 14900 Cantrell Road or do your shopping online at KaufmanLumber.com.
Your change can help families of hospitalized children at Ronald McDonald House. Just ask to round up for RMHC when you place your order anytime you're at McDonald's. This way, families of critically ill children at Ronald McDonald House can stay at no cost while their child is receiving life-saving care at a local hospital. All of that change stays right here in Little Rock. So next time you're at McDonald's, ask to round up for RMHC. You'll be leaving with so much more than just a meal.
Bass, Scoops is my new go-to for coffee. You should go there now.
Raj, only if you join me for their ice cream. It's amazing.
Absolutely it is. They've got coffee with ice cream for those special days. Plus, their pastries and breakfast sandwiches are all local.
Raj, they even have a drive-thru. Greg Hatcher has thought of everything.
I love Greg Hatcher. You bet he has. Scoops is open all day, every day.
Perfect. Let's head there now. It's at the corner of Broadway and 3rd, downtown Little Rock.
He went to doctor after doctor looking for relief and always walked away discouraged. Surgery and drugs hadn't worked before, so why would he try them again? That's when Carmen made an appointment at QC Kinetics.
I'll tell you one thing. I got a spring in my step. The bounce is back in my step. My quality of life improving exponentially since I've been going to QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics has treated over 35,000 patients like Carmen, using their own healing components, concentrating them into damaged knees, hips, shoulders, and backs. No surgery, no drugs.
The pain's gone, quality of life so much better, and mentally I'm in such a better place because I know that I'm not going to wake up to the same old struggles that I have been dealing with every single day. 10 months ago, no joke, I was a prime candidate for a knee replacement. Today, I'm not because of the treatment I'm receiving at QC Kinetics.
Carmen finally got relief, and it was easy, starting with a free consultation at QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440.
If you're sick of this election already, the back and forth, the mudslinging, and hearing about why this person is right for you, know this, the payroll company is tired of it too. That's why they're offering election payroll relief. 2 whole months of payroll for free. Plus, new customers will get 50% off setup fees. This offer is good now through November 5th. Finally, a reason to get excited about an election year. The Payroll Company. Less headaches, more than payroll. Visit morethanpayroll.com.
Live from the Eat My Catfish studios, it's time for Arkansas's #1 collar-driven sports show. It's Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network with your hosts, Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaefer. Lock it in and get ready to dial us up. Drive Time Sports is on the air.
Hour number 3 of Drive Time Sports in the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaefer standing by in Northwest Arkansas. I'm Randy Rainwater from the capital city. We are joined now by the head coach of the Little Rock Parkview Patriots, now the 2-time defending state champion. Good afternoon, Brad.
Hey, thanks for having me, Randy. Rick, how are you guys?
Great. Super, Brad.
So I know you have to be excited you're back to the practice field officially?
Oh yeah, we're really excited to be back out there. And just really it's X's and O's and drills, and you kind of out of the weight room a little bit this week, and just really focus it on football. Kids are excited. Of course, we're going to put shoulder pads on today, so that always spices up practice a little bit.
Now, I guess Mother Nature decided it was time to get back to football as well, because it seemed like the heat turned up several notches. I guess this is also a way of saying, hey, it's time to get in shape, is it not?
Oh, no doubt it is. And, and luckily, I think nowadays, with most people are doing in the summer, these guys are coming in. If you're not, you're way behind. I mean, you're really taking a chance, to be quite honest with you, on the health of the child. But, I think most part, everybody does a really good job in the state of just getting everybody ready throughout the summer and kind of making it a gradual thing so it's not such a shock to their body. Unfortunately, we've had to learn the hard way and throughout our country on this, but I think we do a good job in state now with that, and these kids are doing a great job with the heat, and they know what they need to put in their bodies, and parents are well informed. So that's been a real blessing.
Well, you kind of lead in when you said the health of our children. You kind of lead into where I primarily wanted you to come on to talk about this particular event, as much as I wanted you to talk about this upcoming Patriot football team for 2024. Saturday, August 31st, deep in the heart of Texas. And I say Melissa, Texas. For those that are familiar with Melissa, Texas, it's outside the metro of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It is one of those that you may have thought the term bedroom community. This turned into more than a bedroom community, as several large corporations have moved into Melissa, and the town has just actually, in a positive way, exploded. But the Parkview Patriots are headed down to Melissa, Texas, to take on the Cardinals at what looks to be like a NFL stadium, much less a high school stadium. And but if you are familiar with Texas football, there are some stadiums that hold as much as 35,000. I'm not sure, Brad, what the capacity of this is, but it looks like it could hold at least 15 to 20,000 easily. But it is in combination, and I'll let you elaborate. What caught my eye was kids should not get cancer, but when they do, you can help. So please fill in the blanks, because I think this is a fantastic program that you're trying to establish for those families who had that unfortunate situation to be involved with a child with cancer.
Yeah, great job of just kind of giving an overview of it, but it's really an unbelievable deal. We kind of lucked into it. We lost our little 2-year deal with North Little Rock, so we had to find somebody pretty quickly, and this kind of just fell in our lap. But it's actually called wipeoutkidscancer.org is the actual website. Wipeoutkidscancer.org, WOKC.org. And it is this organization puts together, but they take the revenue from the game. So they'll take the revenue from Allen game and not Highland Park, McKinney that play the night before. They play on Friday night, and they'll take the money from our game. And they take the revenue and make these buddy bags. And these buddy bags, they have deodorant, body wash, toothpaste. They have iPads, wireless earbuds, just a whole array of things. Because, typically a lot of times what happens, these kids, they get diagnosed, and the parents and the kid, they have to go straight to the hospital. They start treatment immediately. So, they don't have anything. So that's what these buddy bags are for. So I think that's a really, really neat. I didn't know that, this was all going to be a part of this game, but as we kind of dug into it and they started talking to me about it, I really got excited. I think it's a really great cause.
Well, you say the game is in Texas, and you're playing a team from Texas, Melissa, Texas. But here's the neat part about it, Brad. The revenue from the Parkview ticket sales will go to providing buddy bags for patients at Arkansas's Children's Hospital. So a way that someone can help support this program, okay, let's just say I can't make it to Melissa, Texas, but that doesn't mean that I can't buy a ticket and on behalf of Parkview, and that money still go to these buddy bags for the patients that go to the Arkansas Children's Hospital. So, I mean, it's a great way to still support this, even though the game is being played in Texas.
That's right. So I would go to WOKC.org, and at that website you can buy the ticket there. So all the tickets now are online anyway. So you don't get a hard copy of it. So it's whether you go to the game or you don't go to the game doesn't really matter. You get a digital copy. So, but you can go on in there to do that, or you can just make a donation, a cash donation, or however you want to do it. But like I said, it's a great cause, and it's amazing to me all the things these kids get: laundry bags, clothes hangers, socks, cards, games. I mean, parents get stuff. They have, those iPads are for them to be able to do their schoolwork. So I mean, it's just a really neat. I didn't even know it existed.
No, Rick, I was looking at this list when I first went over the Buddy Bag program, and it was amazing. It's like they thought of everything. Shampoo and conditioner, body wash, toothpaste and toothbrush and mouthwash, deodorant and body wash, a blanket, a pillow, LED reading light, mobile charging station. We forget these iPads and wireless earbuds. Yeah, got to charge them. Yes, exactly. Right. Flashlight, UND. The print is so small. UNO cards.
Uno. That's a game.
Oh, cards. Okay. Yeah. I'm telling you, the print's so small, I'm having a hard time reading it. I'm thinking, what kind of card is that? But Uno, you're right. It's been a few years since I played Uno.
Fidget. You hear it all the time in sports when you say but it's Uno is the game.
Yeah. Fidget spinner, refillable water bottle, cushioned socks. I think it's right. Clothes hangers, laundry bag, some kind of book, hospital dining gift card. That's pretty cool. And then for the 10 and under, they've got a. Help me out, Brad. This is too small.
Doodle Pro.
Doodle Pro.
Doodle Pro. I guess that's something they can draw stuff with, like an iPad type deal.
Coloring book and crayons and jewelry making kit. So I mean they thought of everything.
They thought of everything.
And it is a great program. Okay, Brad mentioned this. I'll mention it again. WOKC.org/classic. You can, in fact, ticket sales beginning August 19th. So they're still a couple of days away. Tickets will be sold at the stadium beginning at 5:30 on the game day. So it's a great program. If you can participate, Buddy Bag program, and that, once again, WOKC.org/classic. So I hope a great number of people, Brad, will jump on board regardless if they are Parkview fans or not, and support this great effort as the Patriots take on the Melissa Cardinals. By the way, how good is Melissa? Do you know?
Well, they're quickly becoming one of the top, 5A programs in Texas. This past year, they made it to the quarterfinals, the perennial playoff team. And they feel like that in the next few years they have potential to be able to play for a state championship. They're a big, fast, athletic team. I've read a few articles about their offensive line they're claiming that they're the best offensive line in the state of Texas. So guess we're going to find out.
Well, welcome to football 2024, right?
Exactly. That's right.
You have had your players, I should say, more than you have, but certainly as a coach, you have to appreciate the fact that you've had several kids that have been making commitments to different universities and college around our great state and around the country. What's that been like from a coaching perspective?
I'm always proud of these guys. They work hard. We demand a lot out of our kids. So, for them to, finally get to that opportunity to be able to say, hey, I'm going to go play football at this university, it's a really awesome thing for them and their families. Because, some of my players are sometimes it's some of the first kids to ever go to college. And so, that's a really awesome thing for all of them to be able to celebrate, and they're all their family to be able to celebrate that they got an opportunity to go, and now they go make money, and it turns into a marketing business for them, I guess. It seems to be that way anyway. So it's pretty exciting at Parkview right now with those players that we have and the players that we have coming up.
Speaking of, you've got a sophomore, do you not? A linebacker that's starting to garner a lot of attention.
The 4-star kid. He's going to be a junior. He's really, really fast, Randy. He reminds me a lot of Martrell Spate. He's bigger. He's about 6'1". He's about 200 pounds, but he's really, really fast. And he has a real disposition about himself on the field. Great kid. But when he puts shoulder pads and helmets on, he has that mentality that you want from a defensive player, especially from a linebacker. So really excited about him. He has some big time Power 5 offers already, and he'll have a whole lot more after this season.
Brad, you mentioned a moment ago in looking at Melissa, studying Melissa before you played as Melissa Texas, the Cardinals, in this August 31st game. You mentioned they feel like they may have the best offensive line in the state of Texas. Last year, your offense was pretty prolific as well. You averaged right at, 48 points a game. One of the question marks, though, going into this season is your offensive line. How's that been shaping up?
That's a great question, Rick. I think, what's helped us a lot, and we saw this really in the spring, is that, we had 12 of those 14 games where our second team offensive linemen had the whole second half reps in 12 games, in 12 high school games. So anytime you got kids that can get reps like that in a game, they're going to be better than the next year. And so we really saw that in the spring and then carried into team camp, and now the fall camp. It's really, we've seen the benefits from those kids playing. So we hadn't seen a big drop-off, which is exciting because we have so many good skilled kids that can do a lot with the ball. So we'll be anxious to take the field on August 31st for sure. We actually scrimmage Catholic week from next Tuesday.
What do you hope to accomplish out of a scrimmage like that with Catholic?
Oh, really big thing, Randy, I think, is stay healthy. You just don't want to have any, silly stuff happen. Our varsity players are really good players. We'll play a half, maybe in ours, maybe only a quarter. And then you work your way down in the whole second half. It's kind of your second, third team guys that are getting most of those reps. So we don't do a whole lot. We don't show a whole lot. We're pretty vanilla. And we just try to get out of there without having any injuries. But we also want to know people will expose your weaknesses if they've been well coached. So we want to know what those are as fast as we can.
Speaking of skilled players, it seems like no matter the school, it goes in cycles. You've been very blessed as of late with some tremendous skilled athletes. And what's interesting, Brad, with a lot of these skilled athletes is you're able to use them on both sides of the football, which is interesting.
Yeah, we kind of dabbled in that with KJ Hill a few years ago. I never really did it with Tenpenny just because he had those injuries when he was younger, and we didn't want to take a chance. He was definitely athletic enough, but and then with most of the kids in North Little Rock, we had enough players to where we didn't have to do two platooning. But here we have a few less players, obviously being 5A, so we just have we've done a good job of building our numbers to where we have 2 and 3 deep, but we also, when we have two-way guys, they don't play an entire game both sides of the ball. They get a lot of breaks because we have people that'll come in and spell them for a couple of series, and so it's worked out really well. I mean, you'd have thought last year when we played Bryant, we would have been completely gassed. But that's what really helped us is we had so many guys that we could plug in there to give a breather. Otherwise, we would have been. There's no way we would have been able to hang with them. But that was one of the little, ways we were able to maintain and being able to play with a 7A team.
Of course, I'd say you were crazy as a coach if you ever took O'Marion off the field, though.
No doubt. I mean, I've said this. I mean, I've said it 100 times. He's 39-yard average on punt. I mean, he's a great holder. I mean, if the ball's a bad snap, he can do a whole lot with the ball. I mean, he plays all the different positions on offense, and then he can play multiple positions on defense, and he's really, really smart. So he understands the game of football, and a lot more than most kids his age, which really I think has set him up to a whole nother level of play. It just helps him really break down offenses and being able to do some things that most collegiate players are doing, but not most high school players.
I was going to ask you, Brad, what is O's best position? Is it going to be a safety? Is it on the offensive side of the football? I mean, this kid is so talented. What is his natural position?
Well, both Fayetteville and Oklahoma, and I think LSU did the same thing, but they built in some series like packages, and Arkansas has done that, over the years with different players, and so that's, I think, been something that the teams that he was interested in, they all presented that to him. But I think, to answer your question, I think he's a safety. Randy, his hips and feet. The guy from Oklahoma, obviously they're recruiting him, but he said, these are like NFL hips and feet. I mean, this is not normal for a high school kid. He says that he's way ahead of everybody in that aspect of his, of where he is as an athlete. So, when I said that, and then he does. His hips and feet are. I'm not seeing him like that on a player ever in my coaching career.
So where do you put a player like Money Elston? Is he a running back? Is he a wide receiver? Is he both?
I think what is it, Deuce Bond? Deuce actually called him and talked to him for like 10 minutes. And you look at a player like Money, he's one of those that you want to just try to get him the ball. So whether it's at running back or he's at slot, or just people have really created some really unique ways of getting the ball to players like him, and that's what their intentions are. They think that he'll be a player like that, and I think he is too. He's just one of those. You don't coach what he does. I don't fool with him. When I coach running backs, because I coach them, I'm a one-cut north and south guy. I don't do all that side cutting and all that other stuff. But when it comes to him, I just let him go. I don't mess with him. He do what he wants.
That's it's there's times it's best just shut up and, as you said, just kind of let them go. Well, Brad, before I let you go, I want to reiterate one more time. This is more than just a game between Parkview and Melissa. Kids should not get cancer, but when they do, Here's what you can do to help. It is a great, great program. It is the Buddy Bag program, and all proceeds from the Parkview ticket sales will go to the Arkansas Children's Hospital for patients who have children who are suffering with cancer. And as you mentioned, I understand sometimes when that diagnosis comes on, these doctors don't waste any time. They say go. You go right straight to the hospital. So WOKC.org/classic to purchase tickets. Whether you're a Parkview Patriot fan or not, please help in this effort. Thanks, Brad. Good luck in this upcoming season, my friend.
Hey, I'm at the Riverfront Steakhouse with Buzz and Bobby. Just thought I'd let you know.
Every Thursday night at 8 for Between the Mats High School Football Show with your hosts, Matt Wilcox and Matt McJunkins. You'll hear coaches' interviews and player interviews. You'll also get weekly top 10s and player of the week picks for each classification every week, plus t-shirt giveaways and fan interactive pick'em challenges with prizes. Between the Mats on the Buzz each Thursday is brought to you by Hooten's Football, your number one source for Arkansas high school football.
Hey, Central Arkansas, have you visited the new Lumber One and Design One in West Little Rock? There's something for everyone. That's because our newest location is one place for windows and doors, appliances, kitchens, baths, lighting, and so much more. One place for inspiration, one place for free design services, and one place for all of your home and design needs. And still one place for lumber, paint, hardware, and outdoor. It's all at Lumber One and Design One in West Little Rock. Colonel Glenn at 430.
You know CertaPro Painters is your go-to choice for residential and commercial painting, but they also offer high-quality concrete coatings for your garage, patio, or commercial space, and they're looking to add to their rapidly growing team of installers. Whether you're an experienced installer or looking to start a new career, they provide comprehensive training and competitive pay. For an opportunity to join a team focused on creating lifetime opportunities for great people, call CertaPro today at 501-223-8988.
Take your yard up to the next level with the Caddy's Touch Landscaping. Josh Dickinson is a former PGA Tour caddy, and his landscape designs are inspired by some of the most beautiful golf courses around the world. Call Josh at 501-794-2770 for all of your landscaping needs. Flower beds a mess? Josh's crew can give your home the curb appeal you've always wanted. The Caddy's Touch Landscaping also installs French drains, retaining walls, and they'll even take care of your irrigation maintenance needs. The Caddy's Touch Landscaping. Call today, 501-794-2770.
Hey Hog fans, it's David Bowser with an important announcement from Hogman's Game Day Superstores. They're closing both their stores on South University in Little Rock and on JFK in North Little Rock. This means big savings for you on all your favorite Razorback gear. Nike, Columbia, and Drake are just a few of the name brands that are now on sale from 20 to 75% off. For years, Hogman's has said, if you could put a hog on it, we probably have it. But supplies are limited. When it's gone, it's gone. So get on down to Hogman's Game Day Superstore to pick up some great deals on all your Razorback gear.
Hey folks, Ethan Bates here. Some may know me as a Conference USA Player of the Year, but most know me as a spokesman for HJ Trailer Sales in Hot Springs. Anything from customizing any trailer however you want to handling all repairs. HJ Trailer Sales has always provided the best service, and most importantly, they make you feel like family. I'm a Hot Springs guy, so take it from me. HJ Trailer Sales wants to be your local hometown trailer store. Check them out today at hjtrailersales.com or on Facebook.
At Capital Technology Group, we make your technology our priority. There are so many threats to IT these days, and we're here to help protect your data and devices. We're also by your side when things simply go wrong, whether it's servers crashing or printers breaking. We cover it all for our clients in all types of businesses. And with over 80 years of history in Arkansas, you can trust Capital Technology Group to be your business technology partner. Sign up for a free consultation at captg.com.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios, where it's much like any of the 7 Eat My Catfish locations, minus the always fresh, delicious food options like the family pack catfish dinners. The #1 sports radio show in Arkansas, Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports. You're the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaefer. I'm Randy Rainwater. You know, Double B's, they've been in business for a long time. They've been taking care of we Arkansans for a long time. Trying to save you money at every possible turn, so to speak. And it starts with the rewards card, where you can save money on purchases at all the stores. You can sign up with your Exxon credit card, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon at the pump. There's another way to save. And then there's always the monthly/daily specials that they have, where you can save money on, let's say, a 20-ounce Mountain Dew. 2 for $3.50, or maybe the 20-ounce Pepsi, 2 for $3.50. Then they have some other great options where they can, quote, save you money. They've added on the Mr. B's Creamery for that great ice cream and those great shakes, malts, and banana splits. And they got the Chester's Chicken, the Big Rock Pizza. So many ways Double B's tries to put money, well, actually keep money coming out of your pocket more than putting money back in your pocket, because it's got to leave your pocket in the first place. But check it out for yourself, all the great daily specials, and then all the other advantages you can take, whether it's buying a gift card from Exxon or Phillips 66, one of those gift cards. You'll find it at Double B's, where you gas it, grab it, and go. Make it Double B's.
Okay, Randy, we have another guest, or
nope?
Okay. Well, I have read a story that confirms what I've felt for years and years and years, and this is about the Olympics. Okay, the Seine River, they spent all this money to clean it up, and it's still gross, right? I mean, that's the way it is. Okay, it's gross. So, do you know what the Olympic swimmers are using to recover from swimming in the Seine River? Coca-Cola.
Really?
That's right. Exactly right. And it says that the best way to stave off infection from whatever might be living in the water is good old-fashioned Coca-Cola. Now, some are calling that a myth, but the swimmers are buying into it. And it said the likelihood of getting sick after swimming in the Seine. So the Olympic organizers are saying it's safe, but athletes are trying to find measures like taking oodles of probiotics, and many take a swig of Coca-Cola after emerging from the water. They say the acidic value they think is cleansing, although some dispute that. They also believe it restores your levels of some of your glycoxin, whatever that is. Not Diet Coke. You have to have straight Coke. And anyway, and it says that it replaces sugars, even though it's got a lot of sugar in it. It says it makes a nutritionist cringe, but it keeps a marathon swimmer from collapsing. So how about that? Coca-Cola, my favorite drink, being used by swimmers after swimming in the murky Seine River in Paris. Did you ever guess that?
No, I start saying, no.
Now, and speaking of the Olympics, I've watched very little of it. I will admit that. I'm a baseball guy. I usually watch it, although I'm not enjoying Toronto leading Baltimore 3-0 in the second. But I'm so happy for you. Anyway, I did, so I hit the ESPN website, I don't know, 3:15, 3:20 or so, and saw that the United States was trailing Serbia in basketball.
Wasn't that crazy?
And I guess they were down by as much as 17 at one time.
17, yes.
So I turned it on, and of course so did the United States. And you just knew they would make a move, but I turned it on, there was only like 3.5 minutes to go, and they were still behind. And lo and behold, here they came back. And I read something the other day. You know, we've had the debate, and we don't get Marcus on much anymore, whether it's Michael Jordan or LeBron James is the greatest, and some would even throw Kobe Bryant in there, and there may be a few others. There is no doubt that at age 39, LeBron James is much better than Michael Jordan was. Now, we can argue the other era, but this guy, and I got to give him credit, these guys are multi-millionaires. Multi-millionaires. And they were so celebrating after the game, winning for the United States. And these are the best guys. I mean, here's Curry. I think he had 36 points today.
36 points.
LeBron James had a big game. And they are so celebratory after winning not an NBA championship, but for the USA.
Puts them in the medal game. Puts them in the gold.
It does. But it shows you that there is still a good patriotism that's alive. From what I've read, hasn't been a lot of no showboating by United States athletes. They've had best decor. They're leading in medals, as they always do. And so it was very enjoyable to watch that happen. And I know the Serbians they were crushed when they lost. They'd blown that lead. They thought they had the USA down. And I'm sure there's some NBA guys on their team. I'm guessing there are.
Oh, yeah. Yes, there are.
And so, anyway, it was quite a game to watch at the end. And I do have to say, Curry and LeBron both made plays. And then Kevin Durant hit a big jump shot. And they ended up winning 95-91.
Yeah, I'm glad Marcus, you're right, is not on. And I need to get Mark. I need to get hold of Mark. I've left him alone because he's been embarking upon a new mission, a new job, and I didn't want to sidetrack him, if you will, with us, particularly at this slow time of the year. But I need to get him back in the mix. But so I can say this now with him not on the air. I have, boy, this is hard to say. I have found a new appreciation for LeBron James for these Olympics.
Yeah.
I didn't like LeBron any form, any fashion, would have never thought I would have ever pulled for LeBron James in any game that he played.
Well, you'd pull for him if he's playing for the USA.
Well, okay, let me finish.
Okay.
But now that he's playing for the United States, and I know he's played for the United States before in the Olympic Games, but I have found a new level of respect for him. And he really wants to win, and he wants to win for the United States. Yeah. Now, I didn't see that post-celebration, but you mentioned three of the all-time greats.
Yeah.
No matter what time frame you're talking about, in LeBron, in Curry, and in Durant. I mean, those are three, really, when you say it.
That's right. The top 20 of all time.
Yeah. And to see them, I'm anxious to see them dancing around and celebrating and so forth. The only display that I have shown, and it is not arrogance, that I've seen of a display of emotion, I watched one of the, I don't know if it was the 200, then I saw maybe the 1,500 meter individual, and once one gold, another one silver, but both times they went over to their supporting fans or parents or whatever it was, and they'll put the American flag around their shoulders. And in some cases, they'll run around the track.
That's okay. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
Other countries do that. I've seen that other country athletes do that as well. So that's the only display I've seen of anything that could be considered arrogance.
That's the good.
But that's
kind
not
of pride.
arrogance.
That's the good kind of pride in your country. Yeah, that's right. So it is neat to watch that, and I hope I get the chance to see. I don't know when the United States plays France in the finals, but I hope I get a chance to see some of it.
Well, usually what you'll do is they'll have a day off.
So it'd be Saturday.
So I'm guessing
is Saturday the last day? Saturday or Sunday?
Yeah, the women should play tomorrow, and then the gold, same thing. They'll take a day off. I'm thinking it wraps up Sunday.
Okay.
is when I think it comes to a close.
And that doesn't mean basketball. It just means the games, right?
Yes, the Olympic Games, yes.
Yeah, right.
This question by way of our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line, maybe you can answer this one since you were talking about Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
This from the 870 wants to know, what does Pepsi do after you drink it after swimming in that river?
I don't know. The story said they drank Coca-Cola. It didn't say they drank Pepsi.
Well, the first thing when you start talking about Coca-Cola, I thought the acid.
Yeah.
And you were talking about that. I thought that could possibly be the reason is the acid content that.
Yeah. But it also the story. But there again, see, and so they'll say, oh, it's a myth. And some nutritionalist says no, because your stomach already has enough acid that it doesn't need the additional acid of Coca-Cola. But some of the athletes think that. And here, as we all know, a lot of the things that we do, we think help us. Mm-hmm. And it may or may not. And if you think that is helping you to overcome what you just did, then you're going to do it. And the funny thing is, if you go back, say, to the 60s, they had Coca-Cola in the dressing rooms. And somebody said Pepsi. There may be some schools that had that. But I know Arkansas football players used to drink Coke in the dressing rooms at halftime after the game. Other schools did that. And then in 66, I believe, that Gatorade was invented. And so now all of a sudden, okay, we're gonna give them this instead. And then it switched to, no, you shouldn't be drinking carbonated sugar drinks to get refreshed. It should be water or Gatorade, and that's it. And so soft drinks were taken off all the training tables. So it's theories go back and forth, but in this case, this has nothing to do with hydrating. It has to do with swimming in a bacteria-infested river. I guess. I've never swam in the Seine River. In fact, nobody had swam in the Seine River for years until they had the Olympics and they had to clean it up.
Well, didn't the mayor make us swim in it, I guess, about a week beforehand to show everybody that it was safe to swim in? I wonder if
that'd probably be a good thing to do.
Yeah, I wonder if he was drinking Coke after he got out to make sure that it's now on the table in front of all the players, football players, and I'm sure we'll see the same thing in basketball. You got a regular bottle of Coca-Cola and you got a diet bottle of Coca-Cola in front of the Arkansas players now.
Left for the Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union Summertime Auto Loan Special. Don't miss out on this one-time per-year offer that ends in a few weeks. Rates as low as 1.99%. No payments for 90 days and up to 84 months financing. Offer valid on 23 or 24 models for new purchase or refinance your current auto loan. Only a few weeks left. Apply today at alcoacommunityfcu.org. Serving Saline, Grant, Garland, Hot Spring, and Perry counties.
Are you looking for a dealership to have your back? It's your lucky day. Hubbard Power Sports, Can-Am and Sea-Doo of Russellville is your one-stop shop for all things power sports and marine. Our family-owned and operated dealership is celebrating 24 years in business this summer. From our Can-Am and Sea-Doo certified service technicians to our highly knowledgeable sales team, we take pride in how well we take care of our customers. On the road, on the water, or in the trails, we've not only got the ride, but the service for you. Stop by and see us in Russellville or check us out on Facebook today. See our current inventory at HubbardPowersports.com.
Want to get in on the conversation? Shoot us a text at the D3 Auto Sales text line at 501-614-1037. D3 Auto Sales in Desart, the #1 independent dealer in the state with the best prices and largest selection on pre-owned vehicles, including leveled and lifted trucks. Find them on Facebook. Whether it's football, baseball, or basketball, from high school to the pros, hit us up on the D3 Auto Sales text line.
Arkansas is known for its beauty. Rolling hills, scenic fields and valleys, and beautiful rivers run through our state. We want to keep Arkansas beautiful, but we need your help. Do your part by not littering and by keeping your community clean. Register for a local cleanup or become a litter grabber to fight litter at your own pace. Your community needs you. Join us in keeping Arkansas beautiful. Visit keeparkansasbeautiful.com to learn more. This message brought to you by this station, the Arkansas Broadcasters Association, and the Keep Arkansas Beautiful Commission.
14 years of rocking the block on 3rd and Rock Street, Dugan's Pub has always been your home away from home in the River Market. Featuring over a dozen ice-cold beers on tap, including the best Guinness in town, along with Irish whiskey, which is also on tap. In fact, Dugan's Pub features the largest Irish whiskey selection in the entire state. And with a wide menu that includes delicious made-from-scratch food, great drinks, daily lunch specials, games on the big screens, darts, a dog-friendly patio, and music on the weekends, home will always await you at Dugan's Pub.
The Arkansas Poultry Federation presents Wingstock 2024 on Saturday, August 10th from noon to 3 at Simmons Bank Arena. Indulge in all-you-can-eat chicken wings featured by local restaurants and vendors who will be dishing up their best wing to compete for the People's Choice Award and the coveted Golden Wing Award. Plus, a variety of domestic and craft beers available for purchase. Tickets on sale now at the Arena box office or Ticketmaster.com. Brought to you in part by KARK4, Fox 16, and 103.7 The Buzz.
Live from the Eat My Catfish studios, you feed your crave for sports by listening to Drive Time Sports. Much like you feed your crave at any of the 7 Eat My Catfish locations. The #1 sports radio show in Arkansas, Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports in the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaefer. I'm Randy Rainwater. Rick, we hear the term freak.
Yeah, it's Freaky's birthday.
It is Freaky's birthday, Freaky Joe Franklin. That's a good one there. Yeah, real quick. Well, Bruce Feldman has put out his annual Freaks list.
Yeah.
And for the first time ever, he has a repeat #1. South Carolina wide receiver Nick Harbor. He is a 242-pound track All-American. In fact, they had several on this freak list of the top 100. Now, there were two that made this list from the University of Arkansas. Actually, they had 2 representing schools from the state of Arkansas. One from the University of Arkansas and one for the University of Central Arkansas. I think it'd be rather easy to identify the one, at least I think it would be, pretty easy to identify the one from the University of Arkansas. You want to take a stab at that one?
That's Freaky?
Mm-hmm.
It's Freaky.
Freaky, in this case.
Landon Jackson.
Yeah, very good.
Okay. Yeah.
Says the former LSU Tiger player was named first-team All-SEC player by the league's coaches 2023, 13.5 tackles for losses, 6.5 sacks, 44 tackles. Jackson gave Alabama fits last year. 11 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 6'6", 281 pounds. He topped out at 20.4 miles per hour. Last month, he a broad jump, 10 foot 2 inches, 34-inch vertical leap. In the weight room, he power cleaned 350, benched 375, squatted 505. Pretty impressive numbers. The other to represent the state of Arkansas, at number 67, David Walker, Central Arkansas, UCA, outside linebacker. 3-time All-American, number 76 on the list last season. 57 tackles, 18 tackles for losses, 8.5 sacks, 6'2", 260-pound, trimmed his 40-yard dash time to 4.59 seconds. Vertical jump of 36 inches. Upped his power clean to 385. Squat rose to 645. And he did 405 pounds on the bench press.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
That's a freak, is it not?
You're right. Yeah, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'd call it that rather than freaky. I mean, because maybe there's others that can do that, but that's a lot. That's versatile.
That's freaky.
Yeah. How about that? Well, good.
So out of the top 100, Arkansas has 2 representatives on that list.
Great.
Now, the tallest happened to be Oregon defensive lineman Jordan Birch, 6'5" and 1/8", 295. He put on 13 pounds of muscle. The biggest is Kenneth Grant. He is Michigan defensive tackle, 6'3", 350. And let's see, the freakiest schools, Michigan and Penn State, each with 4 honorees. Already talked about the biggest. And then, let's see. It was just too much paper to spend to print off all 100, because they did give all the different accolades, or I say accolades, but justification for why they're considered freaks. But anyway, thought that was pretty interesting that Arkansas did have 2, but state of Arkansas did have 2.
Right. Well, there's 50 states. That means that's what they ought to get, right? 2 out of 100.
That's true.
Everybody ought to get 2 out of 100.
That's true.
It doesn't always work that way.
No, it doesn't always work that way. You're right. True Service Community Federal Credit Union Life in feedback. Michael says O'Marion Robinson is the best two-way player since Derek Russell of Little Rock Central.
That's pretty strong.
I hate the Hogs missed on him. They have about 15 D1 players at Parkview from what I saw last season. Man, talking talent. And Robinson can play on both sides of the ball. I don't remember Derek playing much on the defensive side.
I don't either. Well, he did it at Arkansas.
No.
I can't speak for his high school career.
No. I watched him numerous times at Little Rock Central, but I don't remember otherwise. But
no, great receiver at Arkansas, but never played defense.
Nope. Let's see this from Dennis by way of our True Service Community Federal Credit Union Live Fan Feedback. Dennis says, so sad about Steve Cragthorpe passing. Good offensive mind and excellent motivator.
Did not see that.
Yeah. Won't hold it against his memory, his time. Oh, I got you. Okay. Won't hold it against his memory, his time as a coach at LSU. Good coach, good man. And this from Farm Hog, PHARM, Farm, I guess that's short for pharmacy, Hog. HIPAA laws. HIPAA only applies to insurance, medical providers, and to companies that gain access to medical records for data collection. If I saw someone get in a car wreck, it isn't a HIPAA violation for me to tell someone. It'd be a violation for me to tell someone about the wreck if the person came to my hospital. And if it did apply to Coach Pitt, the students sign a waiver that their information can be released.
Okay. Well, good. Good to know.
Then Stephen.
But we have not always gotten that information.
No.
So what we're learning today is we could have, but we haven't.
And Stephen, who is says, I am a physician. Yes, HIPAA applies to all healthcare professionals, not just doctors. Then this is something I think you said earlier, or maybe it was mentioned earlier. From our True Service Community Federal Credit Union Life Fan Feedback, Lynn says in Sherwood, One of the other shows today said the reason coaches are going to be required to give injury reports is due to all the sports betting
No doubt.
that takes place on college athletics.
That's it, on all athletics. That's why everybody's going to have to do it. And it is fair. I hate that that's the reason, but it is fair because, they say there are college athletes that have actually been threatened by things that have happened because of gambling. And so you give them the information they want, and I'm okay with that. But that's exactly what it is.
Well, you knew it was coming. And college sometimes copycats pros. Pros, even now to a degree, copycat things they do in colleges. And I know for me, when I'm doing some of my things for Saracen, I don't know sometimes who's playing and who's not playing. So it's impossible sometimes to be accurate in that. This may help in that regard. All right, we got to say so long and good night. For Rick Schaefer, I'm Randy Rainwater. Buzz Animal Cruelty, spay and neuter your pet for the Buzz Radio Network. Have a great rest of the night. So long, everybody.
A lot of talk.
Why do you have to talk like that?
And a lot more attitude.
You have a problem? Turn off your station.
1037 The Buzz. KABZ Little Rock.